Let's get started.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live. Yo,
Let's get down to business.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
All right.
for the underground world, every street and borough.
You may learn something.
You are now listening to the Joe Rogan Experience with Chico, Simon, Kamar, and your host, Matt Floyd.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. My name is Matt Floyd, joined as always by Kamar
Welcome to the party.
and Simon.
Merry Christmas.
St. Jacques over here. What we do here is very simple. The three of us have listened to every episode of the Joe Rogan Experience this week. We're going to rate each episode as well as the week on a scale of 1 to 5 Jamie Vernons. We're not going to talk about each guest, the talking points, give our opinions, this, that, and the next. But first, Kamar is going to go over the new patrons.
Thank you, brother Matt. Like and subscribe.
Just before Kamar does that, because it's bugging me, what's that elf on the field there? Where are they playing? Some college?
I don't know.
That Jacksonville-Cleveland game, there's a big fucking elf in the middle of the field.
It is Christmas.
That would be weird, though, right?
I don't know.
Okay, well, keep an eye on it.
Okay, I will keep an eye on it. Kamar, you want to go over the new patrons?
Patreon. You may not need us, but I need you. Join today.
They don't
Big
need
shout
us.
out-
Dude, that is the best slogan for Patreon I've ever heard.
You may not need us,
You may
but
not
we need you. Yeah,
That is
that's true.
1000% the truth.
Join now. We got a new shout out to Kyle Archibald.
What up,
What up,
Kyle?
Kyle?
Sounds like royalty. And
up, Kyle?
big shout out to Renee.
Renee.
Huge one name.
Renee
Must be a star.
Saint-Jacques.
And then a shout out to Larry Murlock.
No,
Whoa,
wait,
what a
3?
busy week.
Desperate
Larry
December.
Still coming this second. If we get
I don't think
Desperate
that's what
December
it was.
taken off.
if we get 10 more, I will pierce my ears.
Oh, wow. Oh,
wow.
okay, you guys heard it.
Wow.
Both of them?
100%.
Well, I've been watching Steve-O in action, and I just know
Oh
that's,
my God,
that's the way
okay.
to go.
Done.
It's stupid human
10,
tricks.
10 Patreons, and he
You should have at least
pierces
put it at the
his
$20
ears. No,
like
no,
you
no,
just-
no.
okay.
I like the way you roll.
Thank you, man.
I like
No,
the
he
way
said
you roll.
he said pierce both his ears.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay. We have that's content too.
Are
We're
you going to wear
videotaping that.
hoops or diamonds?
I think I'm going to wear danglies.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my God. Shine bright like a diamond.
Dude, that opens a whole new world for you, like earring shopping.
Simon, ask me if I've ever thrown a can of shit
I don't like that.
at somebody before.
Have you ever thrown a can of shit at somebody before?
What do you mean by can?
What a great callback.
And if you're a Patreon, you would get that because that was a big topic in our last one. Join the Patreon post, Joe.
He did that to me earlier. I totally forgotten what the fuck he was talking about.
I totally forgot.
Yeah, of course you did, because nobody remembers.
And we totally said we'd act like it was happening, and he just pulled the rug out from under me.
Kamar, how was your week?
I mean, my fake laughing.
I had a crazy week. This minister from a church up in Thunder Bay got me on the phone.
Shut up. Fuck.
Everyone,
Andy threw shit at someone in a Pringles can.
Everyone-
it really all came around.
everyone
for him.
is freaking out about Matt's story about that prank phone call or wrong number,
I
whatever.
don't
you
think
wanna
it was
call
a prank phone call.
Nor was it I guess it was a wrong number. He did think he was getting in touch with
But I
Joe
got to
Rogan.
thinking, if for 5 years you say, my week sucked or whatever, the first time you come out with the real story, of course it's going to shine.
I think you just need to start answering the phone, Jay Rogan, and go with it. You know what I
Jay
mean?
Rogan.
How do you think Joe answers the phone?
Joe Rogan, how can I help you?
Rogan residence.
My week was amazing. You guys are in the presence of greatness.
Funniest man in Ottawa.
Yeah, it's true. Can't
worked,
argue that.
I worked the AFN Assembly, the Assembly of First Nations chief election.
Yeah.
It was heavy stuff. Cindy Woodhouse won in her speech. She said, Canada, if you don't work with us, we're coming for you.
Whoa.
I swear to God, I was like, what does that mean? But they feel like if you're not First Nations, you're on borrowed time, on borrowed land.
I think that's the same message they sent at Little Bighorn.
No, they sent a different message. Anyways, I was part of history. It was pretty wild.
But did you say you were part of history?
Well, I was.
He really thinks he's like part of these conferences.
I feel like a bit of a Forrest Gump. I I had an indigenous friend
You are half retarded,
who's there
so.
selling something. Forrest Gump.
Today I had to ask Forrest here. He's like, when I asked you guys if you want a McDonald's, you responded, blah, 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 thank you. You know what I mean? Normal. That's how it works. He sent McDouble ? What the fuck do I make of that? I had to ask him if he understood how punctuation worked.
I thought I was being polite.
Yeah, he told me that he thinks the question mark is the politest
McDouble?
punctuation. Yeah,
So
but
do you-
what does that even? Does that mean he wants the
I
McDouble
don't
or he
know
doesn't
either. I
want the
don't know.
McDouble?
McDouble?
I got the McDouble.
Yeah, it worked out anyways. So yeah, it was part of history.
Part of history, dude.
What an asshole. Now that I
No.
think about it, though, he is very Forrest
No,
Gumpish.
I had an indigenous friend who had a kiosk there. It was in this big building. There was stuff going on everywhere. And I said, "Have you been up to the big room where they're doing all the speeches and stuff?" And she was like, "No, I'm not allowed." Like, it was only the chiefs that were allowed up
And
in
the
there.
servers.
And, well, of course,
not the trinket sales.
the wallflowers. But it's not like every First Nations person is in
I
this election.
didn't think imagine every white person was invited to like the.
That's how it works.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, we're all invited. Yeah.
You can just show up at any dinner party.
Oh, welcome.
This to them is the equivalent of the Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah, I get it. That's why not everybody's invited.
What do you mean the equivalent? We don't care. Like if you were in a room with Justin, oh yeah, you do care.
Oh, he'd
Yeah,
be fucking
get- no,
fan.
Well, he was in the room with him
I
the other
was
day.
with him just the other day.
See?
History. And then the other night, I'm going home on the slow train, and
That's any train Kamar rides.
I found a wallet.
Zingo.
You found a wallet and
Found a wallet, and I was like, I'm going to return this wallet because I went through it, obviously.
for money.
And I found out it was a 32-year-old woman
Okay.
This is so weird.
with a kid with a disability who had a dentist appointment the next day.
You hold on.
Dude, this is so weird. This is so creepy. This is everyone's nightmare.
Yeah.
That Kamar finds their wallet
then-
full of identification, where they're going to be, and when.
So I started, how do I return it? Do I just show up at her house? Or whatever?
No, you don't.
Of course I don't. So I went through all the business cards and called. There's one chicken place I called. I was explaining, I thought maybe this person worked there. And I was like, I found this wallet.
Why would you be carrying
And the
that?
person on the phone kept going, no, I haven't lost my wallet. Leave me alone. I was like, no, I found someone else's wallet. And I kept saying her name. And
Dude, you are
Okay,
hilarious.
I have to interject here. I'm
You're
sorry.
so fucking
First
funny.
of all, you think that people carry around the business card from the place they work? That's the one business card you wouldn't need.
so, okay, I wasted my time on that call. I called I called a violin teacher. And
Hey, do you know this lady? She has a son named Norman. He
I
has a
call-
dentist
I
appointment.
called a
tomorrow.
I called a senior citizen's house, and then finally I found a Y membership,
Okay.
and I called the Y.
Yeah.
and they're like, "You need to bring this here immediately." And I went from this good Samaritan to starting to feel like I was a suspect or something who was trying to flush out my girlfriend or something. Anyways,
So you brought it to the Y on like
I brought it to the Y. It was like, when's she coming? I'll wait. Because I thought I wanted the no, I didn't. I just dropped it off, but I was thinking the news might be there or some sort of like.
local Good Samaritan
This
returns
is
wallet.
Crazy.
Well, there's a lot of identification there, and that'd be a
Listen,
real hassle.
you
to
did the
lose.
right thing,
don't-
as I
You
would hope everyone
100%
did.
the right thing, minus the looting it for whatever money was.
There
in
was
it.
no money, in it, and I realized,
32-year-old mother.
I realized you cannot do a good deed with expectation.
No, you should just do a good deed because it's a good thing to do.
So I feel pretty good about myself going to Christmas after returning this wallet. And then lastly, I don't know if this ever happened to you. I got on the bus last night, and
nope, that hasn't happened to me in a long time.
all the lights were off. Have you ever been on a bus at night when the lights are off?
Why were the lights off?
I don't know. I just got on the bus and there was like 4 dudes, and it just seemed like I was in a zombie apocalypse because the light sort of flashes on as it goes into the street lights. And we're just driving along. I'm like, what's going on here? And
Kamar ends up at Hogwarts.
I get up and I go to the bus driver. I said, do you realize the lights are not in here? He was a really young guy. I was like, oh, sorry, bro. And flipped them on because he just started the route or something. But
Look at this guy, good Samaritan all around. Hey, man.
Safety first. Ride a bus with no lights. It's really scary.
Yeah, that's super creepy. I don't think I'd get on a
it's
bus that
super
didn't have
creepy.
lights on.
Yeah, I at first I didn't notice it, and then I was like, the lights aren't on.
All right.
That was my week. It was pretty heavy.
Great week. Simon, how was your week?
I mean, it's hard to live up to Forrest Gump.
Damn right
You
it
know
is.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I came in throwing
true.
heat today.
This guy is running into fucking presidents. He's
Yeah.
playing ping pong with Gandhi.
Yeah.
Who knows what
I
he's
found
up to.
myself on the news.
No, your week is done.
He ran a 4-4.
Walking in the background.
McDouble? So I have a couple of notes on my hand here.
Okay.
Oh, number one. Never before have I thought that Joe even knows that we exist. But after this week, I'm pretty positive that he listens on a regular basis, and he must have heard me bad-mouthing him last week. He had, I imagine, like a Bigfoot expert, a UFO guy, maybe Graham Hancock all lined up for this week, and was just like, no, fuck it. Fuck that Simon dude. That piece of shit making money off my name and then telling me I have a garbage podcast. So this week you get Stavros and plates and dates.
So you're pretty disappointed with this
Your
week?
week is just jumping into the show.
No, I'm okay. You know what? Shut up. So pretty angry about that.
Okay. You have this all written on your hand?
Justifiably so.
Then I saw some old rich people today.
Oh, the worst.
The worst, agreed, because that's what everybody strives to be, right? As an old rich person. And really, when you're old,
Yeah.
rich is like the best thing to be. Because if you're a
think we're-
poor old person, that stinks. You're old and poor.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and I think I'm going to be old and poor.
I'm certain I'm going to be old and poor.
And I want to, this woman had like this ring that was like this big, you know what I mean?
You just thought about
rolling in money, driving like a Mercedes or something.
Simon just starts bumping biggies. Like,
She
"Rob this
wasn't
bitch."
hot. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't like score her man because she was a hot piece of tail. back
Could
in
she
the
have
day.
been hot at some
I mean,
time?
she might have been. She might have been normal, but she
might have
wasn't.
known-
I
Like,
didn't know she didn't make her money.
let's be realistic here, Matt.
Whoa.
Throwing loads in the dishwasher.
Forrest Gump over here.
Yeah. Anyways, so that kind of made me sad. And then
Success makes you sad.
other people's success makes me sad. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it just highlights my.
And how,
Yeah.
it's so weird that
Terrible
Joe,
track record.
That's one of Joe's number one principles.
Oh, and that's probably why I hate the show so much.
It's hard to get some meat.
And then the third thing was, oh yeah, I listened to this podcast this week all about who killed Biggie
Yep.
and the whole.
Rampart division.
Yeah, but it was something else actually. It was I guess the Rampart division was part of this like hip hop. They had some name for it where that's exactly. It was a whole division for the hip hop crime culture that was going on.
Yeah.
And this guy says that Biggie wasn't the one who was supposed to be shot. It was Puffy. And he just got in the way because Puffy and Suge had this like. Have you heard this before?
Probably. Keep going.
Anyways, Puffy and Suge had this. Puffy's bodyguard had killed Suge's bodyguard or something, and Suge's bodyguard was like his best friend from childhood, and they had this huge beef, and that he was going to kill Puffy and P. Diddy and
Sean Combs.
yeah, Sean Combs, exactly, and killed Biggie by accident. But anyways, the guy who was doing this podcast, he was saying that he had done this FOIA request to get everything he could on this hip hop division. And the shit that came back was like a novel just full of every rapper. They were like monitoring everybody back.
I'm
in
sure
the
they
day,
were,
you
yeah.
know? It's just interesting. That's it. That was my week. Oh, and I won that bet.
Yeah, good.
Like I
We're
already
happy
told
for
you.
you.
Congratulations.
Simon's a basketball savant. My week was, as usual, uneventful. No one special called me this week. So, Kamar, you want to go over the guest list?
Special called you this week?
Like I didn't get a funny phone call.
Oh,
this
I
week.
see. I thought you
But
were
we-
like
we-
expecting
We're
somebody
going to try to
call you.
recreate it in the post show today.
Okay, sure.
We're going to recreate the phone call.
Well, we're gonna call him.
I'm going to be the reverend.
I think
And
we'll
we'll
call
just
it.
act it out.
We can afford the long distance.
I've always wanted to act as a reverend before.
Yeah, Kamar, you want to go over the guest list?
Yeah, the real banger of a week. We start off with 2072 Stavros Halakakis.
Oh, Kakis.
Don't laugh. And then there was a MMA show, which we don't cover, MMA 150, significant, with Daniel Cormier. And we finish off a week with a good guy, 2073 Derek Morgan from More Plates, More Dates.
Good old fucking Canadian lad,
Mr.
eh, boys?
Personality.
Fucking right. Straight out of fucking Sarnia, bud.
What order we're doing? Halakakis?
Yeah, we're going to start with Stavros.
Just before we rate the week, to speak to you, not getting I think he's talked to everyone he can.
What is he talking about?
Joe Rogan getting like guests.
Bigfoot, in your wheelhouse.
That is so wrong.
Well, here's the problem, though. You've said it where, like, Joe has kind of alienated himself from a lot of the alien people. In your opinion, I don't believe so, but in your opinion, he has. So we can't get a lot of them. Probably the same with the Bigfoot people. Very dismissive. So
Yeah, no, I think I'm shit out of luck on that one.
Yeah.
What do the kids say? SOL?
yeah,
I'm just not gonna get what I want out of this fucking show.
Now you
And
can- now you can pivot.
all I can hope for is some interesting podcasts, and yet,
you don't think Stavros is funny? At least
I mean, it was okay. I didn't like, as Kamar says, it was a little too bitty, you know.
Bit bitty.
I liked it, but whatever.
I'm going to give
But
the
like, more plates, more dates. That one, first of all, what a stupid name. Okay, it just doesn't even
The
matter.
more plates you get, the more dates you get. What's wrong with you, Simon?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
More plates,
yeah,
more dates.
more you can
What, do you
lift, the
think
more
it was
dates
the-
you get.
I
Yeah,
assumed
Dried
it had
fruits?
something to do with the fruit. Yeah.
Ghetto Blaster plates.
I
and dates.
legitimately had no idea. That's how bad that name is. That's what I'm saying. Like,
in Morocco, that's what it is. The more plates
More
you have,
plates,
the
more
more
dates.
dates you can put on the
dude,
plates.
that's what I figured. It made sense to me.
No.
Low budget.
Anyways, we shouldn't start with him. But yeah, Stavros. Oh, rate the week, right? You don't want to hear my rating.
I'll give it a 3.
I'll give it 1.5.
Imagine you questioning somebody's ratings.
Simon's on fire today.
The guy rates the week a 3 and then proceeds to rate every episode a 4.5. Like,
No, I just think any positivity coming out of Matt is surprising.
There you go.
I will give this one, I mean, on principle,
Yep.
my disappointment outweighs even the remote chance that these were interesting, which they weren't.
Okay.
So we're going to go with a 0.5 this week, which I think may be my lowest
Weekly rating ever.
weekly
Yeah,
rating
that's-
ever. And it does not reflect on Stavros or this guy with this terrible fucking name.
His name is Derek, I believe.
It is, that's 0.5 for Joe.
It's incredible that you.
I hope he's listening.
You would think that a regular Joe from Canada who worked his way like onto the Joe Rogan Experience, that you'd be a little more. But no,
I amazing for that guy.
his name's Derek.
He's been on multiple times.
Yep.
He had nothing to talk about. There was no, it was an interview of Joe the whole time. I don't need to hear
Just
more
took my
about
notes
Joe.
right off my phone.
Okay, let's start with Stavros. Let's actually do this since we've all rated it already.
Join the Patreon. 2072 Stavros Hayakis. Did you guys watch a special?
I did not.
I tried.
Nick Mullen also put a special, much better. And it's weird because they have the exact, they're one person in their like cadence and delivery. Very, very similar.
Nick Mullins.
I don't know
think I've
who
ever heard
Nick
of him.
Mullins is.
So the three of them started Cumtown. It was Adam Freeland, Nick Mullen, and
Stavros.
Stavros.
I didn't even know Stavros was a part of Cumtown. Like, that's,
I didn't.
we
either.
learned nothing.
No, I believe they may have talked about this.
He's
the
been on
last time
before,
he was
yeah.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
This time he has a Netflix special, so he's
Riding
made
high.
it. But they were one of the first podcasts to really do well on Patreon. And
Cumtown.
Cumtown.
Were they, does that have something to do with Call Me Daddy?
No.
Were they friends or something? No. Okay.
No, they might have been in the gas digital sphere, but they had their own show, they're great success, and so they've all gone on to do big things. Have you ever watched the Adam Freeland show?
Great success.
Who is Adam
seen it?
Freeland?
No.
You okay?
Well, maybe I have. What does he look like?
He's Jewish. He's got glasses.
Yes, I have. I'm
And
sorry. Yes.
and he sort of looks like he's annoying, but he's actually funny.
Yeah.
So Nick Mullen and Adam Freeland produced that show, and Stavros basically just doing his own thing. They're all killing him. Anyways, I guess I'm just throwing shade on Stavros. His special was all right. I thought Nick Mullins was way better. Brazilian butt lifts is what BBL stands for.
Oh, thank you, actually.
I had no idea
I didn't
what
either.
the fuck
Yeah.
they were talking about.
It's funny because I meant to look it up, but I was busy doing stuff.
I
on my
didn't
phone.
want to in case it infected my phone with something terrible, you know?
But that's a relatively newer term. I mean, maybe the procedure's been around for a while.
Well, no, I don't think in all my years I ever encountered a Brazilian butt lift.
One thing they talked about, well, we've all been...
Yeah, like none of you have ever been with a girl who has a fake ass, right?
No.
Not that I know of.
Because do those really exist? I just assumed that was like
Well, I bet in LA they're probably a
weird
dime
LA
a dozen.
lore. you
Sorry?
know?
I know a woman who's had one.
Interesting. There we go. See?
Are you talking about Nick Mullins, the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite
He's
the
a
around.
comedian.
Yeah, he dropped a special on Netflix and it's better than
No,
Stavros.
no. Nick Mullins is just on YouTube,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
but it's really good. Well, we've been banging on Burt Kreischer all this time. He got fit. Have you seen the latest picture of him?
I mean, he just, again, it's like, dude, you don't have to be ass naked. You could just wear some fucking jeans and
Well, he loves showing off his
Yeah,
hairy
I know.
chest.
it's not
Have I seen him? Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah. I mean, he still is like a big dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's always been a big, like he's a big guy.
That's what I mean. He's just like big.
He looked the least funny he's ever looked. Being more in
the
shape.
least funny he's ever looked.
My Joe has this new thing he's doing where it is my least favorite. Just let me get that out of the way first. Of all the things he's ever done, I'm pretty sure this is my least favorite.
Okay.
Him talking about training the comedians. It's become this like ongoing. He tells everybody who comes in, "Oh, I'm training, blah blah," and then he runs you through the protocol he's doing for them for Shane and you know,
yeah.
the comedian. I'm just like, it drives me insane, man.
So you're not going to like this then.
Man.
This week I started that regiment because Joe makes it seem so easy, of course. What is 100 body weight squats and 100 push-ups? It is, for someone who's out of shape, a fucking nightmare.
But if you listen to Joe, you should have just done 20. Maybe next week work up to 100.
No, I thought he said you just did it slowly, but you do the 100 no matter what.
No. He said he started them slow. And
I like your
eased their
ambition,
way
though. Just
into
go
them,
for it.
yeah.
Bite,
Oh no,
bite
I had
the
to
head
take
the
yesterday
snake.
off. I did 3 straight days, and I was like, dude, even then, the first
Well, that's
day,
what he's warning against.
the first day after 60 push-ups, and I was taking breaks in between the 20, but after 60, I was like, I got to go from the knees. I can't, like, I had nothing left. I am in an immense amount of pain right now. Every piece of my body.
I got in trouble in military school once, and they said 200 push-ups.
That's insane.
And
That would kill
at
me.
like 120, I couldn't move, and
No.
I was crying my eyes. I was saying, I can't do this. I was on like 15, but
That's the thing. It's funny because like I remember being in my early 20s and a busboy, and like that would have been nothing.
200 push-ups?
Probably, yeah.
but
You could never do 200 push-ups.
you could.
Simon,
you could
listen.
if you-
I
if
know
you worked
you
for
look
6
at
months. you
I
could.
know you look at me as like some piddly, weak 5'3" little midget. That's fine. When I was in my 20s, dude, Babylon.
I don't think I could ever have done 200 push-ups. That's a lot of push-ups.
No,
have you
it's
ever
obscene.
been to Barrymore's?
Barrymore's, yes. I've been
Okay,
there.
so all the beer is in the basement of Barrymore's. So if you want to go to the top bar and you have to bring them 4 cases of beer, you've seen the amount of stairs. Dude, that was all night for me. Just up and down those stairs with cases of beer.
Yeah, I'm not saying you weren't strong. That's
it has nothing to do with
I'm
strong.
not-
I'm just saying, but okay,
just
fine.
push-ups
but it's
is
functional
so
strength.
hard, man. It's like
Yeah, I'm saying.
I'm saying, getting even to 50 push-ups, even like for a in shape person, I think
get
is
it.
like a fucking.
Oh, when I was like 20, I could do 50.
You're also forgetting that I
nobody's
didn't
business.
weigh a ton. Like him doing 200 push-ups, he's got a lot of weight on him. When I was in my 20s, like fuck, it was a twig.
Does that make a difference? You think
I do, yeah.
it's
You're
not
lifting-
proportional? Like if you're bigger, then you have
and you're lifting more weight. There's a
Yeah.
perfect thing.
Well, just to bring it back to Halakos or whatever, Stavros,
No way he's doing 100
they said
push-ups.
he was carrying around. Joe was very impressed with how strong his
calves.
cankles were.
ankles. What a piece.
Yeah,
Well, I
large
assume
guys have
that's what
huge
it
legs.
was, right? Like,
Big dudes always have massive calves. Always.
well, I assume that's exactly
Yeah,
why.
you're
'cause
carrying
you're
around
carrying
a
around.
100-pound weight vest
So I
all
just
day.
would have thought the same thing would be true of your arms, but maybe you're like a T-Rex, you know what I mean?
Like, it'd be interesting,
Maybe, yeah.
you know those cross cuts of say the elephant foot or the penguin.
Yeah.
If you just did that to a
To a
obese
fat
person.
seeing their tiny little skeleton with
Holding this
all
big
the-
bag.
That'd be interesting. Eh? You just have two that is interesting. I mean, you'd have to like
They've done that. I've seen
do
that.
the dead body shit.
No. If you I've seen a full body X-ray of like a seriously large person, and
Is it comical?
yeah, it's nuts. You're like, that is crazy. Google it.
I'm going to.
If I say it out loud, it's been done.
If I say it out loud, it's been done.
If ancient ruins could talk, it's such a loss. Like steps that are 3,000 years old, the people that walked on them, they just got into talking about ancient times and the pedophilia of ancient times.
that is comical.
That was a heavy
that
left turn.
dude, that's insane. That's like when you see a penguin skeleton
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah, I told you it's nuts.
Oh, wow.
They can't see it, Simon.
Simon's getting on that
Least
tech train.
I zoomed for them. Manual zoom.
Simon's getting on that tech train.
What was going on with our ancient civilizations and pedophilia?
There was a time where they really liked fucking boys.
No, but there's still tribes that are like that.
And there's still a time where they're like,
Simon, that elf is the Cleveland Browns logo. That's not just any elf.
That's their logo?
Yeah.
That's a cool fucking logo. Oh, because Browns are like brownies.
Yes, I don't know.
Is that why they're called the Browns?
that's what a Catholic priest says. I'm just a traditionalist.
Yeah, I'm old school.
Yeah, what do you want from me? This is what the book says.
Yeah, no, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. I would like to believe that it wasn't always like that.
Well, if
that
you
this
believe-
was actually a downturn in human society as we were coming up. But
Could it be one of those things where like God left that out of the Bible because he was like, it's just so obvious?
Nowhere does it say.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's like, well, wait a minute. I thought it was
Well,
implied. I mean, I
it's-
shouldn't have to tell you people, but they were like,
it's like
yeah, but you
that-
didn't write it down.
It's like that bit, the comedian, I don't know what comedian it is, but he's like, the angels came back to God and they're like, hey, God, we need you to make some more cows. And they're like, why? I made tons of cows down there for them. They should be fine for cows for a long time. And he's like, no, they're fucking the cows. They need more. You don't remember
No,
that bit?
no.
I don't think it's about the. Anyways, they're fucking the animals, and God can't believe that He
yeah, shit. I didn't even think they'd do that.
gave them for them for food, and they just keep fucking them.
You know what I wonder about?
Just edit that whole part out.
I'm going to keep it in.
With all the talk about carnivore and stuff,
And that bad thing about women, I said, take that out also.
there's never a mention about milk.
Sorry, repeat that for me.
It's such a big deal to eat just meat, the carnivore diet,
Okay.
but milk is just excluded. Like, is elk milk good for you, or is milk?
Where do
bad
they
for
get
us?
elk milk? You think they're out there milking elk?
I guess they only kill male elks.
Well, they have
Well,
a
even
certain milk. but
even then, if
I
you
think
kill
that's
a
just
female elk, you think they're milking it? A
no,
dead elk,
you'd have to have.
a living elk, and milk
You'd
it.
have to have
It's just not part of-
domesticated elk.
it's
That's
not
like
part
when
of
you
the
hear about
conversation.
goat milk. Well, it's not, and he just told you why.
Well, I was going to talk about the post show. Glad we got rid of that. Then they moved on to the Seaman Warriors, which, if you don't know better, do they think this sucks? My life sucks,
They said they did that the kids don't like it, and they're like
but it's the way it goes.
don't want to leave their moms and go be fucked by dudes in the forest.
But then, if the kids don't like it, why do they grow up and continue doing it?
It's they'll abused
Trauma
abuser
bond.
thing, man.
Yeah.
In its most primal fashion.
Joe's worried
No,
about
it really is. Like it's so that it's disturbing.
it. Is
Yes, it is
The,
very disturbing.
But then you look back, or you look at the priests and the whole problem they're having with the diddlin, and then you wonder to
Oh, we
yourself,
figured that one out though.
They're traditional.
Just paying homage.
No,
I
but
have to do this.
I wonder though. I'm being a little more serious now.
Okay.
Are they? We always just assumed it's because they weren't allowed to fuck, right? Ladies, which is why they were out there diddling so many kids. But now I'm wondering, is it like this is actually the heritage they're trying to? Not that that makes it any better, but or maybe it's a little column A, a little column B.
They had to do an amendment: "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's kid,
Kid, yeah.
child."
Yeah.
Then Stavros tells Joe how great the club is. Just once, you know what would have been cool? One criticism. I mean,
Somebody did that once.
I love
Remember
before there,
who
but
was it?
I don't remember.
I've noticed you don't have wheelchair access. I mean, it's still it's a great place, but it just would have made it the best. I would love someone to throw that shade.
Somebody did that. I wish I could remember who it was.
You can't remember because they got erased.
Yeah, they've never been on the show since.
They promote what's a special, and they started talking about
I
Japanese.
agree. Sorry, just mention the height of the ceilings. I think that's the ceilings are a little high. I kind of prefer them at Brian's club better.
It's a small thing. It's a small thing. You know, the place is great. Other than that,
Who was it?
No food?
Yeah, no food. That's a good one.
Yeah.
if I had done it, I would have had some sort of snacks.
I would have made Mitzi's kitchen.
I mean, I guess you couldn't afford it.
Too busy paying healthcare.
We found out that Stavros has a Japanese fetish.
Yep.
And I wonder if different cultures gravitate to different porn, or is Pornhub is that all cultures?
Pornhub is a melting pot of degeneracy. I think.
Interesting. Because Japanese porn is
So
But
you're
you've
thinking
obviously
like
jerked off to pixelated Japanese porn.
why would you?
pixelated Japanese porn.
Yeah, they pixelate the
Oh, I
genitals so
see,
you can't. Yeah.
I get though why you would go to fucking octopus porn. Like I'm with them if they were
Really?
making you watch blurred genitals.
I feel like German
Even though
porn
who
is a
even
little-
cares, right? Like what's the big deal? You're not looking at the dick, you know? But it's like
aren't?
it just makes it seem
aren't?
No, I'm saying you are, but it just makes it seem not real anymore. Do you not agree? The pixelation?
I mean, my brain is enough that I can fill in the
Yeah, I
blanks.
used to,
know,
I used to
I
jerk
can't-
off to scrambled porn, so I can definitely work out some
I can't
pixelation.
come
yeah.
to pixelation.
Any port in a
Interesting.
storm.
I need clear dicks. To come.
But we do have listeners from all around the world, so
Just edit that out.
No, I'm gonna turn the volume up on that one.
email us at GRRE podcast.
No, don't ever give out
What?
our email.
But
And that's not our email. Don't worry.
What kind of
kind of
porn
moron would
is
make
going
that their
on in
email?
your neck of the woods? Professors banging students, oldest time, but that's probably been kaputzed. Stavros suggested. I mean, we know why it's wrong, but I suppose after
But it doesn't make it any less fun.
they graduate a course, then
Edit
on
that
fire,
out, please.
Well, Kumar, let me ask you: what if is it only gross because of age? Like, what if you're teaching and one of your students is like 28?
no,
It's
it-
gross
it-
because of the power.
the grade,
dynamic,
the grade.
yeah.
The second the course is over, then
If you give her,
Fuck like
Second
if,
the course is over. Gotcha.
if she signs a thing at the beginning, like I'll accept any mark you give me, that I think that's probably fine.
Okay, yes, okay.
I
I'll
think there
accept any
lies
more.
the
Yeah.
issue. Otherwise, no, I'm for consenting adults.
Because otherwise, you're kind of just grading on sucking dick, you know.
B.
If you're lucky.
And then Joe went full misogynist when he was talking about women in the workforce and birth control. But that is a seismic shift.
In the workplace and birth control. He talked about those two things together.
That was just a sea change moment because before that, women weren't.
Oh, I
working
see,
all the
because they
time.
had babies, so they were in
and
the
then birth
house.
control allowed them to fuck more guys. And
Load in the dishwasher. I
load the
get
dishwasher.
it. I get it. Just
And-
edit that out, please.
If there was a guy pill,
Yeah, why is there not a guy pill? That's insane.
He said there was, but it did something.
Like I'll tell you, the whole vasectomy thing
yeah.
made it so I never would get like they don't make that. They make it too hard. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know.
but you do have a vasectomy.
No, I don't, and nor will I ever get one because I'm not getting my dick cut open. You know what I'm
What's his
saying?
name?
You know what's hilarious is when I had surgery on my balls, I said I was like on the table and I was like, hey, while I'm here, can you just give me a vasectomy? Like, since you're going in anyway. And he's like, if you had chosen any other time than right now, yeah, we could have done that. But
You're having this conversation where your balls are cut open.
You weren't
No.
asleep?
Yes, I was. I told you I was like on the table
pre-
as the anesthetic is like, yeah.
Pre-scalpel.
It's like, well, I'm here. Could you just do some brain surgery?
Yeah.
Any other time.
Hey, can you make that cock bigger while you're down there?
Add an inch or two, could you? No, but there's a doctor in Ottawa who does vasectomies, and he's got a really funny name.
Dr. Wang.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so no vasectomies here.
No, apparently they do it now with a laser. So it's like, easy peasy. But I'm just like, that's what I'm saying. If they had made it like a pill,
Yeah.
everybody would do it.
Yeah.
Just fucking out there jizzing in everyone.
Then they talked about how there's women out there that are just sort of man eaters. Like they're so sexy, they're so hot, they can just sort of get what they want. We as men walk around and you might accidentally get preyed upon by them. Whether
You should be so lucky.
Well, I suppose that I know that getting a bag or whatever, or just procuring stuff. There's really beautiful women can get what they want. That's what they talked about.
What about handsome men? Can they get what they want?
No. Handsome men get nothing.
That's not true.
From gay men, from rich gay men.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Works
Sorry.
the same way.
I forgot about rich gay men. Always forget about the rich gays.
Matt Rife, you guys are aware of that
Old
controversy.
rich gays. That's what.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. The
How he
Nathan
living their
Lanes.
best
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
He doubled down and canceled himself.
Who did? I'm sorry.
Matt Rife.
His response to that was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta say, posting the.
I didn't see any of this.
Okay, so Matt Rife got in trouble for a joke he made, something like the dishwasher joke.
Okay, yeah.
About a girl having a black eye.
Okay.
And being out in the front of the house at a restaurant. He's like, at least they should put her back in the kitchen. But I imagine if she was in the kitchen, she'd know how to cook and she wouldn't have a black eye.
Okay, yeah.
Not a bad joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He got in big trouble for that. And as a response, he put out a thing saying anybody who doesn't like that joke should follow this link. And it was a link to like adult helmets.
Okay.
That's a good way to handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was his apology.
Sorry, that was a very long setup for a
yeah.
very short story.
But I mean, anyone would, if you want publicity, dream of it. You'll be fine. Even if you got canceled, like we've seen people far more egregious and they're still working. It's
Here's
a sort of surface level thing. Then he went on Jordan Peterson. That was the third strike against him.
Oh, gotta keep that room clean.
there are a lot of comedians right now who make it big really quickly and then talk about the long time they spent in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how much of that is true. Like, how long was Matt Rife in the
A
game?
long time.
A long time, really?
Yeah.
So,
What's a long time to you, Simon?
10 years?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but he's been successful on Wild and Out and stuff, but not as not known for his stand-up.
The huge knock on him is that his special was just terrible because what he's good at is crowd work, and you couldn't do that in the special.
Well, you could.
But he didn't.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, because he used all his crowd work for
Fair
his
enough.
clips.
But like, I remember was it Todd Barry? He did a whole special that was just crowd work.
Yeah, and so did Scholes.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I take that back. I don't know. There's something about I want to like Matt Rife, and I don't find him handsome. So this isn't you're jealous of his beauty.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think
you're
he's
not
like
jealous of his
weird
beauty.
looking.
Yeah,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Fair enough.
But I just when he there's something just about him that just rubs my dick the wrong way.
He's
you
too
know?
apple pie-y.
Bit bitty, two apple pie.
bitty. Just wholesome. Just a nice guy.
He's out there just hunting ghosts, and
making
living his
$20 million
best
a
life,
year.
and I don't like it, Matt.
20 million a
because-
year. Oh,
No. He signed a deal for 20 million.
Okay, that's good.
I don't think that means he makes 20 million a year. I think he was doing a TV show or something and they gave him or whatever.
I know I'm stomping all over a post, Joe, but $700 million.
Yeah, you just stomped.
$700 million.
You didn't see it, Simon?
I don't know what you're talking. Maybe I did.
Show-
Shohei
Shohei
Ohtani,
Who's that?
the baseball player,
he got 700 million
$700 million.
for
10 years.
10 years from the Dodgers, which is $300 million more than the previous highest contract ever.
Well,
what's
that's
more-
just going to skew everything.
Well, no,
you
what's
know?
more interesting about it is what he gets a year is more than 8 teams' payrolls.
70.
He's that good, that guy?
He's
I've never
he's
even
a
heard of him.
pitcher
He's the
and
best
a home
hitter
run
and the
hitter.
best pitcher.
Oh, that's right. I know that guy. Yeah. That's fun, eh? When the pitcher's out there hitting dingers.
Nuts.
I had an argument that this just sets a bar, and that person said a contract like this will never be signed again unless there's a player who comes up that is the best pitcher and best batter.
I don't know. If I'm like one of the best players in the league right now, I'm not demanding that, but I want to come close. Otherwise, the whole thing's an
And
insult
soccer
to
has
me.
billion-dollar
I think it fucks
contracts
the
now,
whole
doesn't it?
league.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. You're talking about like the Saudis threw out some crazy money. Yes. But other than that, no.
Like
no,
you would think collectively,
Yeah.
the owners would make sure that never happens.
There's no salary cap in baseball. The owners control that.
There is, but there's just a luxury tax. which they are willing
this
to
is
pay.
what I'm saying.
Oh,
but
there
like,
is.
And the luxury tax that they're going to pay on this might be the payroll of 8 teams. 8 teams are under $70 million for the whole team.
That's
a
crazy.
year.
They do. You're right. They do have a salary cap. Yeah, that's wild.
And
I read the best.
hockey's the only salary cap that people respect.
Dude, the best stat I read the other day was Brock Purdy, who currently is the starting quarterback for the 49ers. At his current payroll, he would have to play 823 more seasons to make what Shohei Ohtani's going to make him.
dude, that's the best stat I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was
Well,
nuts.
I guess I'm gonna have to put my nose to the grindstone.
Yeah, it'll be messed up if he like breaks his ankle first game of the season.
You see the new Wonka?
Wonka, yeah. Back to Stavros.
They talked about Jackie Gleason's golf cart, and the first time I heard of the Honeymooners was through Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I did not see the show. He did the joke about him fucking Norton, get over here, Norton, which I just think is so interesting because that would have been funny to people as a reference that, oh, he's talking about the Honeymooners, but I don't even know what the Honeymooners are. It still was hilarious to me. Just sort of backwards engineering to the. Okay, that didn't make any sense.
Come on.
How underrated is Cat Williams?
I thought he was gonna come
Super
in like
underrated.
uber prepared this week.
Listen, his Krista Chronolite, like that whole if you broke and you ain't got no job and you ain't smoking weed, that whole bit is like top 10 bits of all
I
time.
think it was about 10 years ago or a bit more. Like that's the last time I've laughed at something like I have to stop this.
Yeah.
I have to stop
Doesn't
this.
he? Isn't there a Cat Williams joke that just makes us laugh every time?
Everything he
No. But there's like a joke that he tells. No. Okay, forgot. I don't know.
And they keep naming this shit crazier and crazier. What's this week? It's called Death.
Then they played the
I was never a huge Cat Williams fan.
You just said there's a bit that he has that makes you laugh every time.
It's a joke, like a joke. No, I'm just saying he wasn't
It's
like
flying
he
over my
wasn't
head.
my guy.
Fair enough.
they played the clip of him and Wanda Smith.
That was fucking
And
incredible.
the best line was exercise is precious to her vocabulary.
I really love your
funny.
put your gnarled fingers through my.
He really is underrated, and it's just he's so wild. I think that's why he was.
I love that.
Oh, it's
I love that
something
Jamie pulled up the story and was like, "Oh yeah, actually, her husband pulled a gun on Cat Williams after the show that night."
Chaos.
Cat
surrounds
Williams
him.
that's the problem with Cat Williams. He was like, he's too small to be out there eviscerating people like that.
And I think he feels like he sort of got usurped by Kevin Hart.
I mean, he went crazy for a few years. Let's call a spade
It's
a spade.
something he says to a person at a girl at a airport. Is that the joke? You still don't remember?
Oh my
I'm
This fucking god.
But you're wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Whatever. Just edit all that out.
Stavros came up with the idea, or took the idea that aliens beamed knowledge to human beings instead of actually coming here or something. That's sort of an interesting thought. If maybe some of the hieroglyphics or stuff is not man-made,
Well, if ideas real, I know Joe calls it an alien. They're the aliens, but what if it's more like a parasite, right? Like it needs the host to survive. We are that host. It gets here from outer space. Same way of those like tardigons or whatever, you know, those little
Tardigrade, whatever the fuck they're called.
what are they called? They're called the same thing they're called on Star Trek, which is weird.
Tardigrade.
Tardigrade. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Anyways, something like that that gets inside of you. And then, you know, the same way it's convincing the rats to go near the cats, it's getting us to build things or whatever, in some cases off ourselves because
The
maybe they
tardigrades
have to-
love pyramids. They should build another one, bigger. Put it on a line.
Well, again, with the pyramids, maybe it had some use to the creatures that sent the tardigrades here in
Yeah.
the first place, right?
100%.
Like if it was power that they needed for some reason.
Yeah.
Maybe Earth is just like a waypoint on the way to somewhere way better that we're just too stupid to know about.
Anything is
So
possible.
they come
Simon.
here, they need to
Simon,
recharge their ships to keep on moving. So you'd
Anything
have
is
to build
possible.
you'd have to build the gas station. That's
You have to build the
interesting.
gas
The gas
station.
station, the pyramids, all those ancient structures are just gas stations.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. And I'm not even being sarcastic here because they say that the pyramids are a giant power plant. So
There you go. Gas station.
it makes sense.
But why can't we figure out how to turn them on?
Because only the tardigrades can.
We are monkeys. And yeah, maybe they just didn't give us that idea because why do we need to know?
Yeah.
We don't need to turn them on. We don't have spaceships that need to be powered by energy that comes from the earth.
We don't need spaceships that need to be powered by energy.
Joe mentioned that
Listen, man.
Joe mentioned that Tom Green started doing stand up.
He's been doing stand
He
up
forgot
for
that
a
he's
long
He's done
fucking
it from the
time.
get go. Maybe he was saying he's getting back into it again, but
It's weird to think how big Tom Green was for a second. He was married to Drew Barrymore.
he had like the big talk show on MTV when MTV was
He-
MTV.
He was. He
Say MTV again.
made
MTV.
MTV. He made Freddie Got Fingered, and everybody thought that was going to be like the funniest movie of all time, and it just fucking destroyed him. After that, he got ball cancer. She left him, and nobody ever took him seriously again.
And he blames
know
it
about
on
that.
them for letting him do this.
I wonder if the movie just got changed by the, like maybe it was a good movie to begin with.
No,
You know,
I
it
think
got
that's
like
all,
the machine treatment.
they didn't. They didn't.
No, there's
they
no way it
didn't
was a
step
good
in,
movie
and
to
that
begin
was a
with.
problem. Like you should do this, Tom.
Simon, if you have to shoehorn in you sucking a cow's teat into a movie, like there's no way they were like, well, this movie was good, but
Or maybe
no.
it just doesn't translate on the big screen.
Or
It'll
maybe
work
that's
on
what they
TV.
wanted from Tom Green, and really he was making like a Tropic Thunder, and they
Oh, and they were like,
inserted-
no, you have to suck a cow's
yeah.
teat at some point.
You know what
Yeah.
this movie's missing?
This is what made you, okay? Get in there and suck the fucking cow teat.
and just the title is problematic.
Freddie
It's a
got
hard
fingered.
one to win an Oscar for. You know what I'm saying? And the winner goes to Freddie Got.
I mean, I don't know if it's like a real art house movie. You know,
Yeah.
Freddie got fingered. Like
I
it's
think
a-
he's a clip guy, and 2 hours or 90 minutes is just too much.
You
he
know-
would have killed it on TikTok. A young Tom Green would have destroyed TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Or
Like
YouTube.
100 million followers, so much money.
Well, he really was doing like the first
Like viral
like Logan
videos.
Paul type vlog shit, you know, when he was stealing his dad's car and
Yeah.
painting the Slutmobile
And it was so
on
much
the
more
cover.
work technology wise than it is now.
Even then, all those guys that you watch, the Danny Duncans, the guy who has the duck and fucks with his parents, like Tom Green was like ahead of all those guys.
I think it's funny that we were talking about Steve-O last week being sort of the voice of reason in these podcasts and sober and stuff. And then I see him snort a huge line of wasabi. Okay, that was funnier in my head too. Then Stavros asked Joe his origin story, and I threw my phone at the car that I don't have. Joe could have been a tattoo artist.
Kamar tried to open the window of the bus and hurl himself through it, but they only open like this much.
My feet got caught in the window. Then Joe just reveals that he used to train Whitey Bulger's hitman.
Yeah.
He's told us that story before.
Oh, he has?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, I thought you were like, I'm not sure if I heard
No,
it before.
he's heard it before. Yeah.
I felt like this was new ground, and that's why I gave this more than I would have.
What did you give it? A 1?
We haven't rated it. Is that weird?
Joe could have been a tattoo artist. Did I say that already?
Yeah, you mentioned that, yeah. But then you breezed over it right away. I mean, again, we've said that Joe could have ended up being like 15 different things.
I went and looked at some of his drawings.
Mm-hmm.
I think he thinks he's a little better than he was.
Okay, hold on though. Hold on. How old was he when he did those?
Yeah.
And if he had stuck with it,
Oh, for sure. If he had stuck
you
with
know how
it,
art is. If he had,
100%.
yeah.
100%.
I
for
don't
sure.
think you know what that word
You
means.
paint 10,000 hours
Yeah.
and you're going to get.
There's people I follow online who show their progression. They'll be like, "This is something I painted or drew in 2014. Here's something I drew in 2016," and you can see, like, again, I'm not saying everyone's like that, but
Yeah, no, I have stagnated since like 2012.
okay, fine, fair enough. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
There's
no, for sure.
people on the come up that really care and do nothing but paint or draw.
I just
or-
thought it was weird the way he did it this way. If you asked me, Simon, are you a good artist? No. The answer is no. I don't think I'm a good artist. Joe, are you a good artist? Yeah, I was an amazing artist. Like, take it easy there, pal. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are real artists out there that are amazing.
Okay, but hold on. Simon, how about this? Compared to the general population, are you a good artist?
No.
You're so stupid.
Joe,
Most people can't fucking draw, asshole. Like, I have zero artistic skill. Zero.
I can only do what I can do.
That
can,
doesn't matter.
I consider,
most artists are like that.
No.
Yes,
no.
yes.
Like Picasso, for example.
Okay,
Matt.
so you're going to use one of
No,
the
no, but
most prolific artists of all time. That's fair.
I'm just showing you an example.
Sure.
You look at his like cubism stuff and
Yeah.
you're like, this is simple.
Okay.
It doesn't seem, but he was an amazing artist. He just decided to do that style of art. I
Sure.
didn't decide to do this style of art. This is what I can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're also old and stubborn now, so you refuse to go outside of your wheelhouse.
I think I was
assume.
young and stubborn too.
Oh, no, hold on.
'cause
I guarantee you were young and
I
stubborn.
should have
Thought you were better than you were.
stayed in art school. No, I never thought I was better than I was. That wasn't the problem. It was just like, it was a lot of work, you know?
And you don't think you don't think you,
It just wasn't what I was doing for my job. So to put
Yeah.
so much like, I don't know.
you
I
don't-
should have.
You
for
don't
sure.
think you could go back now?
I probably could, but
Won't.
I probably won't.
I think you should.
Thanks for that.
Or start bow hunting. One or the
Yeah,
other.
I should definitely just bow hunt.
I imagine you'll start bow hunting.
I'm rewatching The Walking Dead right now. Started at season 1. I'm now on like season, I don't know, 5, 4, something like that. Really romanticizes the whole apocalypse thing.
What's the longest you'll watch for?
If I, like hours, if I could walk around with a samurai blade, cutting up zombies,
Yeah.
like they'll make it seem like it's a huge burden.
Yeah, you're
That
happy as a
sounds
pig
like
in
a good
shit.
time.
That'd be a good workout.
If it wasn't for
Functional
the
strength.
other humans wanting to kill you, like if everybody just said, you know, the zombies are our problem now, everybody else get along, that seems like
because zombies in the Grateful Dead,
But that's it, Simon. If Shep's 8 years old and you have to spend all your time making sure he doesn't get raped by
Yeah,
other humans, it
that's-
takes it right.
Takes
you're
all
gone.
the fun out
yeah,
of
that's
it.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
This is what I'm saying.
yeah, so it's tough to.
It is
yeah.
tough.
the zombies have no extra gear, so you always know how you can.
I mean, some of them are faster than others. It really varies, but they're not like
I don't know why. I
World
thought
War
you-
Z
When you
zombies.
said gear, I was thinking Coke. Just coked up zombies. Yeah.
Like World War Z zombies.
Yes.
Those things are like fucking.
That would not be
or,
a pleasure to fight off.
I Am Legend
Yeah,
zombies.
you don't want mile a minute zombies. Those
Isn't
are
it?
the worst.
Isn't it interesting that remember when Will Smith got canceled?
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and listen to what I said, you will hear me say the words, he's done forever, unless he makes an I Am Legend 2. That's probably the only way he'll be let back.
And that's coming
And
up.
he is making an I Am
You
Legend
think you
2.
said this on this podcast at some time?
I know I did.
Oh, you know you did.
Yeah.
Well, that was in the works before he slapped Chris Rock.
Was it? Yeah. Okay.
Not to be a dick.
Well, I mean, fine. That may be true. He's not making any other movies right now. This is the only movie where people will be like, okay, I'm going to go see that, even though it's the fucking pussy Will Smith who slapped Chris Rock. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Kanye West just leaked a snippet of a new song.
Yeah. Is it like an anti-Jew song?
Not enough of a snippet released to
From the
assess that.
river to
Dude, he will definitely have that as a fucking sample.
But,
in there.
river to the sea, sea,
Endless
sea.
loop.
It'll be interesting to see if it comes out and it's a banger.
The banger anti-Semitic.
I wonder if Kanye's just at home like, I was the first one to hate the Jews after Hitler, and now everybody's just copying me the same way they do when I wear my clothes and I sing my song.
I make something cool and they all just jump on it.
Kanye loves the Jews just like he loves Hitler.
Yeah, he loves everyone equally, like Jesus
I think
would.
that's how it is. Yeah, so with Stavros, all roads lead to Japan. So I feel like he'll wind up having a heart attack.
I feel like you did this guy a big disservice. This episode was way better than your notes, and this episode was way better than Simon's making it out to be. They both laughed. I laughed a bunch. This was fucking funny.
Imagine Stavros goes to Japan like what's his name did. Just learns how to make swords for 7 years, gets full body tattooed.
Super fit. Actually, doesn't even get fit. Just
no,
remains
just
big.
all
yeah.
black tattoo all
Yeah.
over his body. Whatever
Speaks
they call
perfect
that.
Japanese.
Who was I thinking of there? That asshole.
David Lee Roth.
Oh my God! Right before I came
Yeah,
here,
wabi sabi.
I watched the footage
Nice, Matt.
of him reuniting with Eddie Van Halen on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, and he comes out and he has this steel rod and does this whole katana thing. In the middle of it, he hits himself in the nose and it starts bleeding profusely. And he's singing, he's trying to wipe his nose. He's got to go off the stage and he comes back with a Band-Aid.
No way.
It's the most
No
ridiculous.
fucking
Oh,
way.
you got to see it.
That's wabi
incredible.
sabi.
That's
It's
incredible.
wabi sabi to the best. But he,
Okay, why is he coming out like that?
That's incredible.
because his time in Japan, just like Stavros, just like you tied it all together. for
Dude,
me.
I imagine him doing a show, stopping like between songs, doing a whole fucking Kama Sutra thing or whatever.
the
it
whole
is.
time
Sutra.
You know what I
he
meant.
keeps wiping his nose. He's trying to sing. Faces the other way.
Oh my
And then
God,
he
I
just
gotta
comes in,
watch that.
folks. I just cut my nose open. We're gonna start. Stop. I'm gonna go get fixed up. We'll come back, start again.
Come back, start from the beginning.
Yes, and they do. He comes
Shut up.
I swear
That's
to God.
incredible.
I'll show it to you.
Oh my
Check it on the YouTube. No, I apologize that I came off bagging Stavros. I love the guy. I just think Nick Mullen's special.
One of our
That's fine. I
One
give
of
this
our
a-
fans.
Yeah.
Our fans. One of our friends.
Listeners.
Not,
Oh, okay.
not fans
We don't
or
have- yeah.
or listeners. Well, he is a listener. He said he doesn't like that Stavros laughs at himself so much.
Yeah,
That's funny. I didn't care. I
that's
thought
a
that was
take.
great.
That's a take someone could have.
That was a take somebody could have. No, I don't.
Then do they not like Kamar? They must hate Kamar
I laugh too much
at yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't.
out of insecurity.
That is not a problem. Hey, it's not a problem I have with you. I find it somewhat endearing
And
sometimes.
I think Stavros could be a big time movie star. Like we talked about him last week being possibly that guy to be a Farley, a Jim
yeah,
Belushi.
I think he's fucking hilarious. He definitely has like a look about him too. I like Stavros. I give this a 3.5. I
also
laughed.
give
I
it a
enjoyed
3.5.
it.
I thought it was great.
I would have to change my week mark a little bit if I wanted.
Well, we
to
know you're
give
not
him
doing
a
that.
1.5,
That's
which I
impossible.
will do. Yes, no, I will do that. I will give him a 1.5 or even a 2. Matt, it wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible. I was just so disappointed in the week that
I see.
I think for Simon had
you know?
there been some more interesting guests at the end of the week, Stavros even would have got a higher score.
Oh yeah, probably. Like I said, it had nothing to do with Stavy. I like Stavros. It was
Love the Stav.
Joe.
Okay, well, there it is. That's the first half. We're going to take a break. We're going to pay a bill, and we will be right back. We're back. Thank you so much. Probably to a sponsor. I didn't check this week. But if there is a sponsor, thank you to them. There will be a link in the description. Be sure to go and check them out. Come on, name and a number.
2073 Derek Morgan.
More plates, more dates.
From More Plates, More Dates, which Simon just found out is about relationships. So he's, I guess,
And
under
not
the
fruit. Yeah.
Hustle Porn banner. And this was a difficult podcast to listen to because it was a complete interview, except for the fact that in the last half hour he mentioned the enhanced games, which is, I guess, what if there was a reason we could pull out of it, is why he was on.
The enhanced games, is that what you said? Is that like the Special Olympics?
No, well,
It's
yes,
the
it's
opposite.
the Olympics
It's the
with
opposite.
roids.
It's the Asterix Olympics, yeah.
Right.
And cash prizes and the like.
And where do you draw the line there? Can you, like, is Oscar Pistorius okay in that league?
Well, he was in the Olympics anyway.
Was he?
Yeah,
You know he's being let out of jail
He's
now.
out.
yeah.
It's very scary.
It's very scary.
Well, he was
Well, if you're a South African woman, it's scary.
who happens to be dating him.
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Yeah. Well, you never know, man.
Okay. Well, I mean, normally when someone in South Africa gets paroled, I'm not like, uh-oh.
We were talking about that documentary the other day.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch it?
Which one?
The leg walker.
Yeah. Is that what it's called? But during the trial, they make him, because he claims that he's walking around on his stumps.
Yeah.
And during the trial, they make him take off his legs and walk around on his stumps. It's like literally the most demeaning shit you've ever seen.
That's incredible.
Not that I felt bad for him because he's a murderer.
We're going to have to insist that you walk around on the stumps.
Yep. Show us exactly what you did, because he was stumping around, and then he claimed that he thought his girlfriend was a
Intruder. So he shot
intruder
her through
who
the
just
door.
happened to be taking a shower.
Yeah.
Blasted right through the door.
Joe is boycotting Canada. He declared in this episode.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's-
And went pretty hard on our current leadership in government and loves Pierre Poilievre.
Yeah, see, that's where he's mistaken. Like, you might think Polyev is a better option for Canada. I'm fine with that. But Polyev is he's a piece of shit.
He's a douche. What I thought more interesting is Derek Morgan was like, well, I don't even know. Like, he's so balls deep in who's natty, who's not.
Well, most people don't give a fuck about Canadian politics, just so you know.
That's
I
'cause-
know you
yeah.
live in this little bubble where you're only hobnobbing with like foreign leaders and, you know, whatnot. But
I do run in different circles.
the common man down here, we don't give a fuck.
No, you blue collar type don't get politics. Do you think Pierre Pull My Finger will catch on? Is it a nickname?
Instead of Polyev.
Pierre, pull my finger. I just like
Matt
how
likes it.
none of them can say his name. Joe didn't get it right once.
Paul Avier.
Yeah, I watched Matt Walsh try and pronounce it the other day. He fucking butchered it.
And then he mentioned how he was talking about George St. Pierre being a man of leisure. Could you imagine if you could just afford to do whatever you want whenever you wanted?
No, I can't imagine what
I was
that's
just talking about that with the old people today.
Because you live a life where you want to do something and then you have to figure out the sacrifice you have to make to get that thing. And
then don't make that
the
sacrifice and then
after.
don't do the
that's a
thing,
different
yeah.
thing. But just always being
Well,
able
the
to.
sacrifice even being work, you know what I mean? You want a new fucking snowblower, you got to work.
Yes.
See, that's sad if you got to work for a snowblower, but you get my point.
And then he talked about Gordon Ryan,
Oh, that was so interesting, eh? That whole part.
who needs to take steroids because they train 365.
He was just
Days
like,
a
yeah,
year.
that Gordon Ryan, he's really doing steroids the right way. and Plates and Dates just had to sit there and shut his mouth because, like, obviously,
No, because
wanted
Plates
to,
and Dates used to do roids. He said it. He's fine with
as
like.
long as you're not lying about it. That's,
Well, yeah, but he was like steroids will help you recover. That's his whole thing. But he's like, yeah, he doesn't want people out there bullshitting, saying like I'm all natty and
I mean, I totally get the steroids will help you recover thing, but when you look at Gordon Ryan and he just looks like he could be like a Sasquatch with no hair. You know what I mean? It just kind of throws the whole recovery thing right out the window because you're fucking giant, dude. You're like the liver king. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But I mean, I don't know.
Anyways, if you're on steroids, you should look more like Conor McGregor, old school. You know what I mean? Just like you're fit, but you're not like busting at the seams. Because then people are going to be like, well, that's the steroids we know.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's an interesting thing that we expect these guys to be in tip-top shape. We get angry when they're not, and
I mean, in all fairness, I could care less about Gordon Ryan, whether
no,
he's
but
in
not
shape or
forget
not in
Gordon.
shape.
Forget
It's just
Gordon Ryan.
normalizing it.
Forget Gordon Ryan. Let's say the Giants QB shows up and he's out of shape and he hasn't trained all summer. You know, you as a Giants fan are like this fucking guy. Like, but at the same time, we're like, well, they can't do steroids because like he could be nursing a bad knee, right? And that's why he took the summer off, because he's like, I want to fucking recoup my knee. It's stuff like that where we get a bit dicey. Like, we want these people to be in tip-top shape at the top of their form, but we refuse to let them use anything that we think will enhance their performance. But I don't know. There's got to be a line somewhere. Like,
Well, that's this guy's point, right? Have a different league then.
well, no, but he brought up a point even where he was like, there's USADA stuff on there that should not be banned 100%. I mean, even if you think about weed, like weed for the longest time was considered a performance enhancing drug. And it's crazy to think that like you couldn't have athletes smoking joints on their off time or using CBD or any of that sort of shit. Like, so there has to be stuff on there. I'm too dumb to know it, but there has to be stuff on there that should not be on there that would help people recover at least. I mean, even then, we know that John Jones tests positive and they let him fight anyway. Connor like clearly was on roids, and USADA was like, yeah, we can't let this guy back into the testing pool yet. And then they're like, okay, well, you're gone. So
You're
like,
done.
so does it even matter? Like,
USADA later.
yeah, I mean, same with baseball. Baseball, they knew they were jacked up for that whole season and probably way more than that, and they didn't give a shit. Ratings were through the roof. Like,
And it just seems different. It seems like in the 80s, guys who did a lot of steroids their bodies were messed up at like 50. Like they couldn't walk and stuff. It just seems like the technology has come a long
Well,
way.
I'm sure the steroids they're doing now are better. They were like injecting themselves with horse fucking blood and shit, you know?
give me 4 quarts of horse blood.
Be strong like ox. Get the ox blood.
They said,
Did you get me that sea biscuit?
Gordon Ryan
Nothing.
sells $1 million worth of DVDs, and then Derek questioned, can he even sell DVDs?
Who sold $1 million worth of DVDs?
Gordon Ryan
Ryan.
sells training.
Yeah, really. Why are you
Videos.
selling DVDs anymore?
Yeah, well, okay, you're on the same page.
Well, because you can sell them.
Well, you can sell downloads too. I guess you just don't make any money from them.
It's a lot. I don't know. Probably easier to pirate.
Like my son came up to me the other day. We were having my mom's birthday. Happy birthday to my mother. And he's like, "Look, I found these DVDs in the basement. I'm gonna take them, okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't have a DVD player." He's like, "Yeah, but I can buy one." I'm like, "Yeah, you could also download all of these movies, you know."
You know what, Simon? Apparently, I read an article the other day. Apparently, the thing that people regret selling the most is their DVDs.
DVDs
Yeah.
and
And
obviously-
CDs were on the list as well, but DVDs were at the top.
Because those are actual physical versions of the music you now only have on.
Well, the music, there was different reasons for both. The films was, I mean, a big thing was just like personal ownership. The other one, and this one seemed crazy to me, is they had this stat where they said on average it takes, and this has to be boomers, on average it takes people 30 minutes just to figure out what streaming platform the movie they want to watch is on.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's easy, but just picking what to watch is difficult.
See, this is where they didn't really clarify. They made it seem like you know the film you want to
But you
watch,
can't
like you're
find
like
out.
True Romance. Dude, a quick Google search will tell.
Even on my shitty TV, like now that I have cream of the crop,
Yeah.
CIT or whatever,
Yeah.
TIC,
DBI.
TIL, whatever the fuck it's called. Even the one I had before, the Roku piece of garbage, even that had a universal search. Like you could search and it would bring up
Yeah.
where
Hey,
to
here's your-
find it. Yeah.
Listen, Apple TV, you punch in the movie you're looking for, and it'll tell you it's on Crave, it's on
Yeah, yeah,
Prime,
that's
it's
how-
wherever.
that's
Exactly. I know that's how they all
That's
work.
how
That's
my
why
TIL
when I was
works.
reading this, but the point was back to the real point. Like you said with music, there's 100 million songs on Spotify, which seems like fucking bananas. That seems like that's all the music. But if you have Spotify and that's the only place you listen to music, things that aren't on Spotify do not exist. Like even yesterday, Field of Dreams was on TV. I have like cable. And I actually watched Field of Dreams. There's no ads, but I watched Field of Dreams. I can't believe they ever greenlit that movie, by the way. Today I watched Joe versus the Volcano, but I was like, these are movies that you just had forgotten about because they're not on a streaming platform. Like it feels like when you're on Netflix or Prime, not so much Prime, when you're on like Netflix or Crave or whatever, there aren't movies pre like 95.
I never really noticed. Prime has
A ton of old movies. That's different.
and just the hugest catalog of fucking garbage.
But
it's
yes, they
insane.
have bought every terrible movie. But the weird thing about Prime too is a lot of those movies you'll go to it and it's like, do you have stars? You know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're like,
I-
no, I
I
don't have
hate
stars.
that.
And they're like, well, it's $6
Oh,
to get.
the thing within the
Yeah,
thing.
the add-on within the.
Dude, I swear to God, though, Prime must work on the same like kind of system as like a Value Village. They're just buying like lots of terrible fucking movies, you know? If you want Leprechaun 2, you also have to take
Yeah.
99
They
in
just
this
buy the whole-
lot.
the whole bin.
The whole bin, you know?
Did you see what Amazon did for the Black Friday game?
What's the Black Friday game?
So they did for the first year ever. They had football on Black Friday.
Football. Sorry, yeah.
I also didn't realize they never did it before because of a weird CRTC law. Not CRTC, the whatever there is the FTC, the federal.
Whatever.
There's some rule that says you can't play football on Fridays between certain, or you can't televise football on Fridays between certain
Why?
hours.
It must be a religious thing.
It's actually not. It's because they didn't want to take away the viewership from high school and college football. So the deal is that like college football plays predominantly on like Fridays and Saturdays.
that's interesting.
So to keep viewership on those, because you know that it's going to take away from the NFL.
Yeah.
So
It's like we want Thursday night football. I'm sorry. Listen, Friends and Seinfeld really own that fucking time. Now
Exactly.
they're not popular. You can have Thursday night football.
But this is the thing. So Amazon paid the huge fine. And then what they did was all the ads that ran in the States during the Thursday night football game. If you were a Prime member, you got a different ad. So you got an ad for specific products within the Prime that are like directed towards you. You could add them to your cart from the fucking game. So like while you're watching the football game, ad for Waterpik comes up. You're like, oh, you know what? Actually, fuck yeah, my mom could use that. Boom, from the TV, throw it in your cart. Dude, they are on some next level
Did you
shit.
buy anything?
I can't believe
I'm not in the States. It didn't work.
now that I think about it, I can't believe they don't have a thing through Prime where you're watching like whatever Transformers and the
Yeah,
guy
want to buy a trend.
No,
Oh.
even drinks a Coke and you're like, oh shit, that Coke looks good, and you just
Yeah,
click.
well, we just threw a
with the
24 pack in
icon,
your- yeah.
and it just fucking shipped it.
Well, that's going to be the
25
new shit.
minutes later, the
For
fucking
sure.
drone shows up at
Yeah.
your door and you're drinking a cold Coke.
Yeah. You're watching Mad Men, a fucking carton of cigarettes shows up.
Lucky Strike. They don't
Oh,
even make these
yeah,
anymore.
awesome.
This is crazy.
They have a World War II stamp
This
on them.
Coca-Cola has cocaine in it.
But isn't that crazy? Yeah, Kamar doesn't care. No, I just when I read the article about how Amazon had spent all this money and dude, that's next level. We are in the future.
You said Kamar doesn't care anymore, and he looked up and went,
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Oh, I'm
You
I'm
got
well.
it.
Yeah, I'm well
like
aware.
he was so not involved in that he thought
right,
we were like,
right there. I was thinking about how the algorithm will just even get better, and the odds of you watching a football game and something popping up that you really need, that you may be thinking about, and you will.
At some point,
It's not available
at some
here.
point, I assume your card will be loaded in there like it is now, and you will just have things delivered to your house, and you're like, "Hey, I didn't order this. Oh shit, I wanted that." You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like it's that intuitive that it's literally. I mean, look, they already have it with groceries, right? Where it can read a certain level of deficiency and send it.
Yeah.
Right? It automatically populates in your cart, or you ordered this last month. Like those are all just crude versions of
Yeah.
you should reorder, you know, and then it's just fucking there.
You know what's funny though is like when you think about ads, like YouTube, for example, is supposed to target you with ads, right? Like, but I find they're terrible with me. I get so many French ads. The other day I got
Oh, me too.
The other day I got an ad for a shampoo, but it was clearly directed at Indians because it was like, "Don't you want clean hair for Diwali?" I was like,
First of all, I don't have hair, and secondly,
well, no, but it was funny too because I was like, for a second, I was
Yes.
like, you know what? This is what it feels like for minorities to watch like old television, where like everything is just like directed not at you.
when all band-aids were pink.
yeah, because I was watching it, and I was
Back
like,
in the day.
I was like, this just isn't for me at all.
back
Sorry,
in
Kamar,
the
go
day.
ahead. I know you're.
Oh no!
No, I could tell by the way you're
next-
you're gripping
The way
your
you're
fingers
not
with
involved
anger.
in the conversation because you can't talk about this conversation that we're involved in because you could possibly forget what your next note is, even though it's written right in front of
Oh
you.
no! I had to decide to move past the point I was going to make.
Okay,
because
sorry.
You guys had such an excellent conversation going, and I didn't want to
Well,
interrupt the
you know
banter.
what? The floor is yours.
Great work, by the way, Kamar.
Well, they were just talking about consoles, DVD players, and we discovered today that ghetto blaster is a pejorative term.
Yeah.
Term pejorative. Ghetto blaster, a blaster for the ghetto. Then they got into gaming, and it really is remarkable. They say the gaming industry makes more than film and music together. Like it's the biggest.
I was explaining to
And
you
you
though.
think
Well,
that
because I imagine before the add-ons, it probably was a very equal distribution. But you watch a movie once, you pay for it once. Theoretically, if you're not stupid, you are feeding that video game every time you play. Like literally. Are there even games right now, Matt, that are, I know they exist, but are there fun games that don't involve some sort of add-on, you know?
No, well, listen, the Call of Duty I play right now, Warzone, theoretically, and I have done this because I don't care about skins. Like, it's not like FIFA where you might get Ronaldo and there was an advantage to having Ronaldo. In this, the skins do nothing for you.
They just look different.
That's
But can
it.
you buy better weapons? Can you buy, no?
No, I mean, okay, so this is where they get you. This is what they've done now with Call of Duty specifically. Warzone is free, and Warzone is the battle royale where you play against everyone. They also still sell you the multiplayer game where it's small maps, 6v6, search and destroy, kill, like free for all, team deathmatch, that sort of thing. What they do is before they release the new Warzone, a month before that, they drop the game. And if you don't buy the game, like me, you can't rank up all your weapons. So when Warzone drops, I have like the shittiest assault rifle you can imagine with no attachments. And everyone else on the map has a souped up AR that hits from a mile away, has no recoil, and doesn't
Do you
move.
then have the option to buy that gun if you want it?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, I mean, you
That's
can
the
buy.
round.
Listen, yes. The point is, someone like me, Simon. So far in Warzone, I've probably given them $25, and I've gotten like 5 years of. So I've kind of juked the system in a way, I guess.
I mean, you're
Yes,
for
I'm an outlier.
normal
Yeah.
people, yeah.
Listen, my nephew, my sister, for some reason, hooked her credit card up to the Xbox, and my nephew spent, I think it was $2,200 on Fortnite skins in a month.
My son, when he was a little kid, I think I told you guys this, spent like $1,200 on
fish.
diamond fish or whatever. And we called them and they gave us our money back. And then they actually made a Shep law, which was like, you know, you can't take
Yeah.
advantage of.
Oh, that's interesting to be a part of a precedent.
Yeah.
Well, no, like
I mean, you're not the only
famous.
famous one there, Forrest.
Well, no,
I've been told
Kamar.
that.
So to go back to like how much money these things make, EA famously, so forever in FIFA, which Simon and I dumped thousands of dollars into. In FIFA, it's like you open packs. It's pretty much like gambling. It's like, hey, for $25, you can open a pack. You get 10 players. You might get Ronaldo.
It's
You're probably
gambling,
not.
but without the chances of actually winning anything.
Precisely.
Because even if you win, you lose.
Yeah.
You've paid for it.
But-
yeah, and it's worth nothing.
But EA eventually, they did it in a Star Wars game. And for some reason, the public went fucking bananas. And then all these U.S. senators went at them. And they were like, loot boxes are gambling. And they had to kind of shift the way they do business a little bit. But China outlawed it. Like China was like, you can't sell these loot boxes to kids. This is straight up fucking gambling.
I mean, even if it's not gambling, it's definitely preying on like it's a very like predatory behavior.
Come on, I can give you an
Try
example.
and steal money from kids.
The first Grand Theft Auto came out for PC in 1997.
And 5 is coming out now.
No, so 6. So I'm going to get to that. 5 dropped 13 years ago or 12 years ago, which means by the time 6 drops, there will be a 15-year gap, give or take. That should show you right there. They used to try to push you a game every couple of years because they wanted your $80, your $100, your whatever. Grand Theft Auto 5 is still making $100 million a month.
Why you have to spend money on GT5?
No,
GTA
but
5?
people in the online, like they release a new car, you got to buy that car with
can't buy
in-game
that
money. So like,
You don't have to complete the game or play the game.
no, you don't have to. But people, the point is like,
Listen, you want a better stick to beat that hooker with, you know? Edit that out.
sure. I mean, Kamar, there's,
I'm considering getting PS5
Just to do
to
that?
play GT. No, just to play the game.
Simon, I don't know if you saw it, but they finally released the trailer for GTA 6 this last week.
Okay.
And
It's like a movie, bro.
broke the fucking internet.
Have you guys, sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just in closing. It ends with, and keep in mind the date. It's December 9th. Well, whatever. When they dropped, it was December 9th, 2020. What is it, 2 right now? It's 2022?
23.
23?
Yeah, it's going to be 24
Yeah, sorry.
very shortly.
It drops in 2025.
What?
Yeah, that's why I think I can afford it.
They'll just keep pushing it back and pushing it back.
Well, a lot of people
It's
were-
like Matt Damon on fucking.
A lot of people were saying the reason they said 2025 is because it gives them a wide berth.
Like, will we be at the PlayStation 6 by then?
Well, I said to a buddy, I was like, dude, GTA 7 could drop and I could be well into my 50s.
You know how.
But it'll be the greatest game you've ever played.
You know
possibly.
how.
GTA 6 will be the best game ever.
So
You know how like they released the PlayStation 5 how long ago now?
It was it was 2019, I believe.
But people are still like really big into the PlayStation 4.
I don't think so.
No, that's
No.
a done deal. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, you couldn't get a PS5 for the first 2 years, so a lot of people were stuck playing
Are they
their old-
making games for it now? Like it just seems like they're, the PS4 had 100,000 games, so many,
Yeah.
like more than you could fucking.
Well, they don't make games like they used to anymore.
They don't, it's just it.
and so the video game industry makes a ton of money, and then people playing video games on streaming services also like it's such a big silent behemoth of an industry.
Ecosystem, yeah, it's crazy.
I still don't understand. Like, we're watching sports right now. When was the last time you went out and played football?
Well, I physically can't, but
Okay, fine, but even then,
if a bunch of old guys call, I would be there tomorrow.
sure. But the
What's
point
your
is,
point?
well, Derek was like, I just don't understand watching someone else play a video game. He was like, they're not even engaged with you. Like, a lot of the times, people are watching very good players, and you do it for a plethora of reasons. Like, one, you would be like, you want to watch the best of the best play the game. But two, you get a lot of insight into like, oh, I could be better. I didn't know that was a place you could jump or hide or headshot or whatever the fuck. Like, there's a lot of reasons why I could see people watching people play video games, but they just couldn't get it. Like, if you go to a baseball game, you're just watching someone play baseball. It's the same thing.
It's just that there are stakes on that, I guess, and there are no stakes on that.
No, there's professional gaming leagues that are worth like millions of
It's just
dollars.
a giant
That
industry.
is different than
Okay.
just watching
Yeah,
some
fair enough.
dude
On
than
Twitch,
you
yeah.
just watching me try and beat a level of the Last
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Us.
yeah.
That
if
was
your
the only
kid
video
says-
game I could think of.
If your kid says at 11, I want to play video games for a living, 20 years ago, you'd been like, well, no, too bad that doesn't exist.
I think
And
I
was like,
said to Shep, "Good luck." Like, prove me wrong. You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's,
if your kid says that though, you have to treat it like you would have when we were young. If you were like, I want to be a musician, like,
yeah,
okay,
it wasn't like a great way to make a living, but good luck.
yeah. Listen, you have so many pitfalls, and if you make it to the absolute tippity top, you're going to be super rich, but it's not going to be easy. Like, I don't know.
Listen, I bet a lot of those people who went to like fucking history programs are kicking themselves they didn't fucking put that time into video games,
if they were
Probably, yeah.
gamers, yeah.
There are a lot of did you watch the end of Squid Games, by the way?
Yeah. Are we going to spoiler alert?
Well, I
Did you
think
watch the end of it, Kamar?
No, I haven't watched it.
Okay, spoiler alert.
Well,
To anybody,
he hasn't watched it.
I don't think he's ever going to watch it. It's been out.
The guy hasn't been paid who won.
Remember, he said, "I'm not watching it because I like Mr. Beast."
I don't think that's what I said, but I said something
Okay,
like
well, a
that.
guy
He
didn't
said,
win.
"Beast the
Spoiler
balls."
alert. A guy didn't win.
The person.
It's an amazing game. I really like it. I'll watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's great for the viewer. It really is the best viewer game.
Yeah.
I would be very angry to be a contestant on that show. There is so much that is so far beyond your control
Yeah.
that it makes it like a lottery. It takes the skill out of it because at any point somebody could just get the power to willy-nilly get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? Survivor, you have to be voted out. It's a process. The same thing is happening every week. Same with every reality show you go on, Matt. It's a pretty set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if Squid Game, everyone, like, I like it, don't get me wrong, but if every one of them was like a contest where you could lose or win,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, on your merit. And even if it's somewhere you have to be a good guy, I'm okay with that too. You know,
I
what I'm
disagree.
saying?
I liked the bullshit chance of it
the
sometimes. Yeah.
randomness. Again, like I said, best viewing of all reality shows. As a contestant, I would be fucking pissed. Like,
I mean, listen, I'll give you this. If you're a contestant on the first one, yeah. Because, I mean, but the prize is so big that you can't really be that pissed. But hear me out. if moving forward, no one has anything to complain about. You've heard all the complaints. You know the game. You
Well,
know,
did you watch all the shit about the after?
yeah.
what
The
it was
condoms,
actually
yeah,
like,
all of it, yeah.
The
Did you
standing
notice
there.
the guy with the chapped lips? No. Did that stand out? 'Cause maybe I could tune in.
There's one dude in line. Yeah, he's just his lips are so red.
90%, no, 10% of men get 90% of the women on dating apps. 10%. Also, they had a discussion with Jamie about how 70% of girls say their relationship and only 30% of guys say their relationship.
Yeah.
But guys, I think guys will downplay the relationship they're in until, you get in a fight or something and you feel bad. Or otherwise, you're just a dick. But
Listen, man, in my 20s, I was such a drunk. I can't tell you how many times that I slept with a girl, and then in my head was like, she regrets this. I'll just leave her alone. And then I'd like years later, that girl would be like, you never called me back, and like that was such a dick move. And I would be like, I just honestly was gross, and I thought you regretted every minute of it. Like,
well, that's one thing. But you may have been having sex with a girl that you thought you were just hanging out with. She thought she was in a relationship with someone, and you just thought you were just hanging out. I think it's more common for guys to do that. I mean, everyone's going to lie to themselves when you can remember when your relationship got really serious
with my wife.
with your wife, with Mary.
yeah.
Like there's some sort of moment where there's more than just a crush or whatever. Anyways, I do not know what it would be like if we were in our 20s with Tinder, all these hookup apps. Could you see yourself dating an OnlyFans girl, or would that be like, no way?
In my 20s, for sure.
This is it. This is it. 20s.
Are you fucking
Not today.
kidding me?
No, it would be like dating a stripper. You know
Yeah,
what
I would have
mean?
done
It's
that in my
just-
20s,
You
and I
would've?
would. Yes,
Nah,
come
no.
on. What are you fucking nuts?
No, I don't.
If they're making $100,000 a
You
month,
know what happens to people at strip clubs? Like it's yeah, but you didn't date them. There's a huge difference between sleeping with somebody and dating.
Wouldn't
someone.
have cared. In my 20s,
if
wouldn't
they're
have
just
cared.
showing their feet and their butthole in their bedroom,
Well, that's
it's a
different.
lot different than being a stripper.
than like jerking some dude off, And I heard somebody talking about OnlyFans today. Oh, it was Sam Tripoli, and I can't believe I agreed with him. But he was saying like, they're out there telling you how amazing OnlyFans is, how you can like make so much money off it. But when you look at the actual analytics, it's like a really small percent of people that are making a ton of money.
Same as everything.
Everybody else is showing their butthole for like $250 a fucking view, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a day or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck it is. So you have all these girls out there thinking they can be these like millionaires by going out there and diddling themselves on camera, and really they're not making anything, and they're just like selling their soul to the devil for no reason because of some fucking, carrot that doesn't even exist. It's like pretty sad, man.
Iggy Azalea,
We're so mad at you. He's like, go fuck yourself.
Iggy Azalea makes
It's like,
48.
you've never been on OnlyFans.
Iggy Azalea makes $48 million a year on OnlyFans. So
Iggy Azalea,
that's a couple of reasons
the
for-
singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rapper.
So sorry, she's on there diddling herself.
Why don't you look it up?
Yeah.
Well, because I'm not on OnlyFans. Why don't you put your account on and show us?
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, that's probably why you can't fucking read your notes properly.
Do you-
Your screen is full of cum.
Do you think there is a equivalent to Joe Rogan, like a female? Is it Whitney Cummings?
No.
Just sort of
Well, who has the biggest female podcast?
I wouldn't
that,
know.
like,
Call Her
all
Daddy.
girls have to listen to.
Call Her Daddy has the
That's-
number 2
okay.
podcast in the world.
Is that? Were you talking about Laura Compton last week?
I was talking about.
Mar
her
talks about her
months ago.
every week.
No, but we were talking about her boobs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Edit that part
In
out.
confidence.
Yeah, fucking guy.
What's his name? There's some rumors going around about Tom Segura.
Why are you doing that?
Because he wants to edit it
Yeah,
out.
what is this guy
that was
doing?
Self-editing.
This guy's a fucking maniac.
So yeah, okay. The female equivalent is Call Her Daddy.
No, I watched the video about it.
That's wonderful. I'm happy for you.
Seems a little scandalous there, Simon. A-list has changed.
Has it?
Has it?
Has it?
A-list?
The term A-list, an A-list celebrity.
Yes, it has changed because the biggest B-list celebrities are now A-list celebrities. It's like flipped. Brad Pitt is down here and Logan Paul is up
No,
here.
Brad Pitt is still an A-list celebrity. Get out of here.
Right? But
It's
Logan
not
Paul
as, it's
is
not
a
as
B-list celebrity.
prestigious a club as it used to be.
it's a different thing. It's a
Let's
different
put it
animal.
that way.
If the past was now,
Like if I knew it was going to be that kind of party,
You would have stuck your dick in the mashed
you
potatoes.
got it. So that is how comedy works. Kamar, you dumb fuck.
Beastie Boys, we would have seen Tommy Lee versus Kid Rock today.
If Joe
If it was
wasn't such
then.
a prick.
Well, no,
Yeah.
just with the success of the influencer boxing and stuff.
Yeah, if Joe hadn't have talked Kid Rock out of it, we'd be watching that fight right now on video.
Yeah.
And Joe,
DVD, Matt.
Yeah.
and Joe was talking about how he was going to fight Wesley Snipes, and then Wesley realized I was going to fuck him up, and that's why that fight never happened. Can you think of any celebrity fights that wouldn't have been realistic in the day, but now could have happened? Like Charlie Sheen versus Chuck Lorre.
Like, wouldn't you pay a whole lot of money to see Matt Damon versus Ben Affleck?
Matt Damon versus Ben Affleck for sure.
That would be a great fight.
I'd rather see Ben versus Casey. I don't know why.
Or
Oh, no, Rip.
Matt-
Rip versus one of them.
but as Rip, but because they know him.
Well, he was tough in.
Yeah, in Goodwill Hunting. Yeah.
Matt Damon
Jerking
versus
off in my
Robin
mom's fucking
Williams.
room.
Sorry?
Said you jerking off in my mom's fucking bedroom?
Will Ferrell versus Thomas E. Howell.
Will Ferrell.
You mean John C. Riley?
Perfect.
That's what I meant.
That's another great
Thomas
fight.
C. Howell?
Tom from The Outsiders, you know. I think Will Ferrell was in that movie, wasn't he?
I'm down for some of these celebrity fights.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot, Kamar. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
What are
against
some
Peyton
good
Manning.
girl fights we could see? Like
Tom Brady versus the Gronk.
Oprah versus Gail,
Oprah versus Gail.
or Oprah versus Stedman. Both of those would be
Oprah
good.
versus Whoopi.
Ooh, that's good.
That's the fight we all
Or
want to see.
Oprah versus Martha Stewart. That's a good one too.
Brendan versus Brian. That's the only fight that Joe
true.
will
That's-
okay.
yeah.
I like
If you're
that.
both going to give yourself
Yeah.
brain damage, then so be it.
I like that. Let's see that.
Yeah, TRT Brian right to the tits and just fucking send him in there.
No, I there. That's a good idea, Kamar. Because I mean, really, what we are all waiting for is Logan versus Jake, right?
Yeah.
That's the one.
And then he kills his brother.
Yeah.
And I didn't say who. So he,
One of them dies in the
close your
ring.
eyes and you know who it happened to.
See the way he did? He goes, he kills his brother.
I don't think you know what that word means. Joe has a
Just walk up
ironic.
to his mom, like, "This is why you don't put your sons in the ring with killers."
Killers.
and try to monetize it.
Nice tag. Fuck.
Joe reveals, ironically, he's developed an archery injury.
Ironically, and then explains to us how. At which point, my wife said, "I can't listen to any more of this," because I was listening.
And then he talked about training comedians, but not working too hard.
And that's when I told her all about this new thing he has going on with the.
Oh, you had to tell her? She hasn't heard it?
Yeah, no, she didn't know why he was.
And then Derek wanted to know if Brian is still natty, which Brian apparently is.
Yeah.
Brian Redman.
I believe it's Brian
Yeah,
Callen.
they
for
really
sure.
threw Brian Callen under the bus there. Derek was like, yeah, he really looks like shit.
Joe is waiting for his red light bed because $23,000. Why not? Have a go.
I wanted to
Red
mention
light
that.
bed.
I wanted to mention that when they were talking about all those people that are like trying to get their like metabolic age down to as low as it can be, and like the guy that spends his day at the stand-up desk on the treadmill, like I just at a point is it not diminishing returns? Like I get that you're gonna live longer, but how much of your life are you wasting on trying to live longer? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Well, that's the
like if-
trade-off that you only find out.
like if you live
the
till
last day.
if you live till 70, but you eat by and large what you want, and you smoke cigarettes, and you just live the fucking life you want, and then you die at 70, versus the guy who lives to like I don't know 105, but spends 30, like literally you could take 30 years of his exercise, and that's time that he I don't know. I don't know. I think you should be healthy. I'm not saying don't exercise.
I also feel like too, on the trajectory that Joe is on right now,
Yeah.
based on meaning like taking all the stuff he is to keep himself young.
Yeah.
The only logical next step is baby blood. And then we're right on to adrenochrome. Like it's just a quick jaunt. It's a tiny little pivot, you know?
Quick jaunt over to adrenochrome.
I guess we just don't.
Like how long, sorry, Kamar, how long before Huberman is on telling him that he needs to be taking baby's blood? Like that's the only clean way.
It's right around the corner.
Anyway, sorry, Kamar, go ahead.
Huberman has the third biggest podcast in the world, by the way.
Oh, we live in a weird world, man.
That's not a weird world. He's a health guy.
We don't walk around at our optimum.
The three of us?
Speak for
Oh
yourself.
my God.
Sorry, me and Matt don't walk around at our optimum.
No.
And so, do some push-ups, eat some meat. Maybe you feel that way, and then it just feels better to feel that way.
Dude, if they did one of those metabolic tests on me, they'd be like, well, you're 40 years old, but your insides are 92.
Elon, talked about Elon bringing back Alex Jones to
X, yeah.
X, sorry,
Not X, Twitter.
Twitter. And as far as billionaires go, he's the best we've ever had, right?
Oh, that's what I was
We
gonna
think
say
all
earlier.
billionaires are bad, but he's got a sense of humor. He's wild. And like, if
Is
you
that
imagine,
what we care about?
well, I don't think we care about anything, but there's billionaires that have lots of money that you don't know about.
I think there are probably tons of wild billionaires. They just don't make themselves public like this. Like he's the first guy to do this. You
so
know?
we'd more appreciate him to be a man of mystery.
I would.
Okay.
Just shut the fuck up. Do your shit and shut the fuck up. Buy Twitter and don't tell us you bought Twitter. Just make it a better place, you know?
I'm glad I asked.
Kumar, I'm not invested. This is the thing. If I was invested heavily in one of his companies, I would want what Simon wants, for him to shut the fuck up.
Less volatile.
Yes. That being said, if you were an early investor in Tesla, you are filthy fucking rich. If you were an early investor in probably anything he's dipped his toe into, you're probably filthy fucking rich.
I don't
So-
want to hear Michael Jordan's opinion on anything but basketball. Do you know what I'm saying?
enough.
If Elon wants to come out and talk about rockets or automated cars, all the power to you. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Just because you're rich or famous doesn't make you smarter than anybody else. Well, I mean, in his case, he probably is, but like not necessarily street smarter than anybody else. I don't think he doesn't think like a human being, you know? So some of his rationale is just so robotic that.
I mean, listen, Kumar, like I appreciated him being like, yeah, I don't give a fuck if you don't want to advertise here. Listen, he bought the company. He can do or say whatever he wants. There are no shareholders in that company. So in that case, I'm all for him being like,
We talked about this last week, right?
what?
This whole Elon and the sponsor thing
I don't know.
where he told them to go fuck
Maybe
themselves.
we might have, yeah.
Okay.
But they brought it up on this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why we're
no.
talking again.
I just don't want to repeat myself, but like my thing holds firm is that, yeah, he has every right to do that. The same way companies have every right to decide where they want to spend their dollars. So don't be a fucking bitch, a baby little bitch. You know what I mean? Like if you want to
But
play
he wasn't
with
being a bitch. He was saying, I don't want your money. If you don't want to be here, don't be here.
that's what he was saying now. Before he was like, oh, nobody will advertise on my fucking thing. You know, like he just knows this is a better way for him to make money is by bolstering up these companies that will support him because they're companies who aren't afraid. Like it's all a bunch of bullshit, man. He is just as much a peddler as the guys on the other side.
Peddler.
Here's something interesting about Elon that I thought about just a little while ago. I meant to mention. He's trying to make this whole platform where Twitter is X is everything, right? It's the car you drive, it's the store you shop at, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, he's already done that. Bezos. Like quietly under everybody's nose, it's the TV you watch, you're clicking on things to buy. He's already done it. He's already done what Elon wants to do. It's funny.
Yeah, but we also know that Elon really hasn't built anything himself. He just buys things that other people have done and then makes them better.
I mean, I assume that's what Bezos does as well. Like
no, Bezos started Amazon. I mean, he buys up a lot of companies,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
doubt.
He-
But I'm
he
saying
started
Amazon. I mean,
Amazon, yeah. No, you're
you
right.
can't doubt that. Like
So-
Elon didn't start Tesla.
PayPal.
he was part of it. But again, you don't know what happened in those meetings. That could have been all Peter Thiel or the three others or four others, and Elon could have just been a
Writing
coding
the
guy. Yeah,
software,
like we don't fucking know.
I don't know. You're right.
Do you have a favorite billionaire?
No.
Ross Perot.
Steve Jobs.
I just find it funny that we live in a world where like Joe is best friends with Elon Musk. Okay. Elon Musk was the richest man in the world, and Joe was touting how he would sleep on the factory floor. Yet whenever we talk about like some sort of tax on the rich, Joe's like, it's anti-capitalist. Like you can't do that. You can't have like anytime he talks about like there being a cap, he's like, no one will work. No one will do anything. All the billionaires will stop at, they won't. Elon Musk hasn't stopped. None of these guys stop. Those top tier people always work the absolute hardest, and they will continue to. Like you could tax the shit out. That's the thing about Elon Musk too. He was bitching about how much he had to pay in taxes. Dude, you have to pay your share.
And like, what have your companies saved from the government? Like untold amounts.
No, but it's just like about like I don't know, dude. I get that you paid a high amount. I understand that the highest tax bracket pays for almost everything. That's how it's supposed to work. We're all your employees, all of us.
And when you needed those tax dollars, they were there for you because your company was about to go out of business until the American government stepped in and gave you a massive fucking whatever they gave.
Yeah.
I can't even call it a loan because I don't think he had to pay it back.
I just want to say the Indianapolis Colts are fucking my entire asshole right now.
Then he repeated how he likes to work out with comedians, but not push them too hard. Because you just want to be involved in doing it.
I hate you.
Celebrities using injuries for plastic surgery and just plastic surgery in general. There aren't too many cases where you don't know about it where it works out. I think Pamela Anderson did some stuff, but she's backed off and is aging more gracefully than others. But Madonna
more. Ergo vis-a-vis.
Do you guys think you'd ever be that vain?
No. I mean, first of all, the amount of money it takes, like, they still haven't perfected it. So if tomorrow they came out and were like, we have perfect, it would be too expensive. Listen, I look like shit all the time. So yeah, if you could pay me to look like Brad Pitt, if I could pay you.
You'd go under knife to look a bit younger.
Yeah. Oh my God, in a heartbeat.
Stop. You wouldn't. Did you, when your hair,
Hold on. If you won the lottery tomorrow, would you go to Turkey?
I'd go to the States. I wouldn't
Panama?
go to Turkey.
You wouldn't go to Turkey?
No, they have better ones in America. I'm just sure they're like so much money.
Oh, okay. I see. Oh, I get it. You think they have that
Turkey
same
is
shit?
cheaper. That's
I
why
got
Mike,
it. Okay. Yeah.
Logan Paul's friend.
But no, but
goes
Mike
there.
Malik has tons of money. Why wouldn't he just stay in the States?
Because it's like you pay $200,000 here, or you pay $30,000 there. It's like a huge difference. They're not that rich. I mean, Logan is, but Mike Malik.
Okay. Yeah,
isn't.
fair.
Oh,
enough,
you're
fair enough.
talking about hair?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about stem cells.
Well, no. Again, you could just go to the States for that,
Yeah. Just
and that's the first thing you do is take care of his shoulder.
my hair first. And
Oh, you would do the hair first, head and shoulders, baby.
head and shoulders. There's the new podcast for you. If plates and dates can do it, I think
Simon's
head and
sitting here-
shoulders.
Simon's
is
sitting here,
fucking-
full head of hair, chiseled face. He looks
Dude.
like $1 million.
I would if I had a full head of hair, I would work out.
Kamar, we said this last week. If Neuralink,
I never knew that about you.
if I had a full head of hair, I'd work out. Is that what you just
My whole
said?
life would be different. I'd be a better artist.
You see him in a wig. Feel the fucking burn.
Oh my God.
Did you ever consider dyeing your hair as it changed to more of a salt and pepper or whatever it is?
It happened so quick.
Yeah, it was like a tiny
I
little-
went to
bed.
I didn't even have
It was a tiny little bit on the side. That's it. And then one day,
And then
it was
I just woke up and was like, wow,
Wild.
it's
Matt,
all there.
Matt saw a ghost. You don't know this story?
Yeah. Powder touched me.
Then I gave him this recipe with peanut butter, and it regrew his hair really
Yeah.
long but white.
Did you consider it?
No.
That's I respect that about
I think
you.
I would look like, I don't know. I feel like I would look ridiculous with like dark black hair, like just for men, my hair right now.
Yeah, of course it's ridiculous. the headliner right now, the club, is a friend of mine, and he's got a white beard,
But
but his
perfectly.
hair is just a nice
that
sort of
looks
chestnut
ridiculous.
brown. And I was like, look me in the eyes and tell me, I don't care, but tell me you don't dye your hair. He's like, nope, he's natty, and I just don't believe it, which is sort of pertinent to this guy we're talking about now.
I mean, you like to bring it up often. Like, not only can I not grow a beard, the little I do has like grays in it. My chest has gray in it. It's gross. It's gross. I'm old. It's gross.
Now you have to just grow your facial hair for a month. The whole
Oh,
thing.
no, it's so no.
And the more you grow it, the more it grows.
No,
in.
no, no.
My
It's-
beard's still pathetic. Like,
It's not
you have
true.
a beard.
It's the more you shave it, the better.
Yeah, I
Wives'
got to spend
tales.
3 months shaving it. Yeah.
Just shave with a straight razor
Yeah,
for 3
yeah.
months.
Then
That's the
Derek
spirit.
told Joe about how Michael Jackson might be a castrati, which I'm sure he got from Joe Rogan. This is
Those are
really getting wrapped up.
really fucking, really like nibble at my fucking teats when they do that.
Nibble at my teeth.
Tell a story to Joe that you've fucking heard him say 1,000,000 times.
And then they talked about the
You've
perils
heard of
of
Gobekli Tepe, right?
fame.
Have you ever done DMT, Joe?
The mystique of fame is now gone. That was something we enjoyed when we were kids.
What do you mean the mystique
Yeah,
of fame?
what are
Well,
you
I think you mean now that fame is just like pushed in our faces. Like everyone has
No,
a
you
vlog.
always
A
found out-
dime a dollar.
You
a
found
dime a
out
dozen.
you found out crazy stuff about celebrities much after the fact. Now you almost find out things in real time.
Oh, like Richard Gere the day after would be like, listen, there was no gerbil in my like now he'd be on
Gerbil
TikTok doing like the
story
yeah,
here,
yeah,
everywhere.
okay.
I was thinking about that because I was watching slap fighting,
Yeah.
and it really is the best. And I think Dana might be onto something because there's some sort of aspect to it is just like a duel. You know, there was a time when,
Yeah.
so, sir, you offend me. Meet me at the square or the lake with
Meet me at the
pistols
lake.
for a duel. And they do 10 paces and then turn around and miss each other. Guys had to be like, just turn around right away, shoot the guy in the back and stuff. Or was it all respectful? But the slap is the most.
I think there was always people around waiting that were
With
like, if you
guns,
yeah.
yeah.
like if you disrespect this
really?
duel,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we're gonna
I
shoot
thought you
you
just had
dead.
to prepare you and your henchmen to take them all out and say, yeah, I don't know. We shot him and everyone else took off. But, or if social media was around when that happened, like a kid in the second floor, Billy the Kid's shooting Outlaw Jack.
Yo, fam, they dueling.
Exactly, man. The man's got a gun.
Toronto man.
Toronto man's gunned down in a duel today, fam.
Do you think it'll be weird if you're on your deathbed and Tom Cruise is still making movies?
I assume Tom Cruise
Yes,
will be making
that will be
movies well.
very
You,
weird.
you hope he
That will
dies
be very
before
weird.
you die, right?
He's gonna be like Wilford Brimley, just doing fucking oatmeal ads.
Not
and
even. He'll
shit.
still look the same. He'll
Where
look
he just shows up
exactly
at
the same.
hospitals to say to people who are passing, you're going to a better place and salute them.
Salute them with his giant fucking medal.
He's handing out Dianetics fucking pamphlets on deathbeds.
And we've talked about it ad nauseum. Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard.
Just end it. If you have nothing, fucking end it. Elron, yeah, sure. Scientology.
The really interesting thing about Scientology.
No, it's just sometimes, Kamar, you give these notes where you feel like you're just saying it to say it. That's all I'm saying.
I wasn't sure if you were talking about Scientology and L. Ron
no.
to end it.
No, no.
Or me.
No.
he pulled a Simon. But
No, yeah,
I'm-
because you
I'm
were
with
just
him.
like, you were like, I don't know, Elron, Scientology.
yeah.
Do I got 5 more
No,
minutes?
but no.
here?
As I was saying, I said we have talked about it. It's not like what is this Scientology?
Oh my God, we
thing?
beat that horse to death.
The interesting part about Scientology is really nothing to do with Scientology, but the fact that Elron was such good buddies with Aleister Crowley and Jack Parsons, these two guys who have become like synonymous in history. One of them ends up in like the rocket program, and they're all these fucking weirdos. And this is like the backbone of America. It's what like modern day America was built upon, was the backs of fucking L. Ron Hubbard, and we didn't even know it.
Do you not remember I was telling you, I was like, isn't there a chance that the world is just run by, remember I was like 5% of us are sociopaths?
Mm-hmm.
And that there's a good chance that those are just all the people in charge because they're so callous and don't really care that like,
That's the only way you can get to the
you
top.
can't rise to that position unless you have those blockers in place that are just like, don't care, move forward, move up. And that's potentially who's been leading us all along.
That and the fact that all the rules we follow, the framework that makes up the society we have today was crafted by fucking madmen, like, and literal madmen, people who were like praying to fucking owl gods.
Yeah.
Weird. It's a weird place. Anyways,
Would you want it any other way?
Yeah. There's probably a few ways I would like it. You were asking me if I wanted to be rich earlier. That's a way I'd like it.
Tyga has really carved out a little spot for himself, eh? All the way from Rack City.
Listen, let's ask. So Simon, right now you find out OnlyFans comes to you and they say we've crunched the numbers and we suspect that you could make $5 million this year by showing your anus to the gay community. Are you in?
All I have to do is show my anus.
I mean, your face is going to be in some shots. That's unavoidable.
yeah, but it's just showing my anus, like spreading my cheeks.
Yeah,
and
that's
showing
it.
my
Spready
anus.
Gibbs, yeah.
That's all I got to do.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't got to jerk off.
Oh no, you're gonna have to jerk off.
Oh, well, that's different, man.
Well, come on. I thought showing your anus was the worst part of this. No, you're gonna have to jerk off
No,
a couple
that's
of times.
super easy. And knowing
But you
that
can
it's
jerk off
just
to whatever
the,
you want to.
to
Like
the
there could be.
gay,
Well, yeah, women aren't paying. I'm sorry.
that would be my fear, right?
It's
Is
a
that there's bunch of
reaction
girls.
video.
Oh, your fear would be there be any women in there
Yeah.
at all. So
And if
you're
it's just gay dudes.
Yeah, it's just
you
gay dudes,
If it's
yeah.
a bunch of like jockos making fun of me, that's not fun. But if it's just
but you
gay
don't know.
guys who like my
You don't have to read the
asshole-
comments.
it's
If the
true,
jockos
too.
are giving you $10 a month, what do you give a shit?
I don't know, man. I don't know why I would care. But
Yeah, no. The answer
I
is
don't like
yes.
the
I'm in.
sounds of it.
Kamar, I know you're in. You're.
Yeah, I'm currently.
He already
Kamar
said he'd
has one.
show
Yeah,
his
yeah,
asshole
yeah.
Weighing
for
my
a
off.
Yeah,
fucking
he's-
Big Mac combo.
He's putting a link in the description as we speak.
Let's actually do.
You never did a movie game.
Field of Dreams for the movie game.
Why?
Because I mentioned Field of Dreams.
Hold on a sec. You mentioned Field of Dreams?
Earlier, I was saying I had just watched Field of Dreams last night on television, and today I watched Joe versus the Volcano. Remember? By the way, Meg Ryan, she could get it. She was
was a
hot.
piece,
She
man.
was
She
really
was
hot,
hot,
back in the
dude.
day,
Like,
man.
and I mean, like, I'm not talking You Got Mail Meg Ryan, but like that, like 80s Meg Ryan, early 90s. Ooh,
And
she
ironically,
could get
she
it.
got work and she can't get it now.
Hey, even You Got Mail, Meg Ryan.
Sure,
She
but
could
not- dude,
take
I'm telling
my
you.
package anytime.
Joe and the Volcano.
Wah, wah, wah.
Joe in the Volcano, she plays classic 80s movies. She plays like 3 different characters, but
What was the premise of Joe versus the Volcano?
so Tom Hanks works at this job he hates in like the most dimly lit, shitty office possible. Hates his job. Sorry, Cheeks. Goes to a doctor one day. The doctor, by the way, is played by the trench coat guy from Unsolved Mysteries, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
Okay.
He tells him I've done a bunch of tests on you, and you have a brain cloud, and you're not going to live long. And he's like, I knew it. I knew I had this brain cloud. So he goes and he quits his job. And then this rich dude comes up to him and he's like, listen, I heard about your brain cloud. I can give you all this money and you can live out like the rest of your days pretty comfortably. But I'm going to need you to go and jump in this volcano. I think that's the premise. I wasn't watching. I was listening to
What?
fucking... No, I'm pretty sure that's the...
I think after I was like, what? No, sorry, that was Godzilla.
Well, no, I was listening to Joe while it was on. It wasn't fucking... What a piece of shit. This fucking guy. Either way, he ends up... So he goes and he buys a bunch of shit, like these... He buys like quality luggage and all this useless crap. And he ends up like flying overseas. And he ends up on a boat. And the boat sinks. And he's floating on his luggage. And these Polynesian people... One of them is played by Nathan Lane, oddly enough. Take him in,
No, he's wearing blackface.
pretty much.
By Nathan Lane. What a
I don't know,
weird
dude, that's-
He was
casting.
that guy.
That was the craziest thing someone I'm watching. I was like, is that fucking Nathan Lane? Like, I had to take the headphones out and stop listening to Joe to hear his voice. It was Nathan Lane.
You watch it in silence.
Matt was watching The Bird's Nest and he didn't even notice
No,
their
no.
bird cage.
I woke up early today. I sat down. I rolled a joint. I turned the TV on. And because I'd been watching Field of Dreams, the same channel was on. And Joe versus the Volcano had just started. So I watched the first like 20 minutes of it with the sound on. Realized I had like 40 minutes of Derek left. So then I popped in the headphones and it was just on like sans sound. So I was,
And you're still able to watch it.
well, I remembered when I was a kid. So I remember kind of the premise of it.
So let me get this straight, Kamar. There were like 6 hours of Joe Rogan this week, something like that.
5.
5 hours.
Five and a bit,
Zero
sure.
movies were mentioned in 5 hours.
You might be
I'm
right.
glad you asked. Simon.
all of Stavvy, not one movie was mentioned. Not
no,
one.
They said super bad. You can't make it super bad.
We
anymore.
did Superbad
just
already.
did that 2 weeks ago. You're
Field of
right,
Dreams it is.
I'm glad you asked, though.
It's the JRE movie game. The time has come again. For Matt and Simon to rack their brains to guess the budget in the box office. We all know they won't guess the year, and the Patreons are the real winners here at the JRE movie game. Come on, take it away, baby.
It's the movie game.
Who was that? Was that
Bane.
supposed to be the Grinch?
No, it's Bane, I
Trying to
think.
do Bane. We're Matt and Simon go head to head to find out what year a movie came out.
Oh my God,
Oh
this is
my
terrible.
God, are you having a stroke?
How much it cost to make and how much it made. at the box office. This week we're doing Field of Dreams, Baseball Dream. And Matt, you said they could not do that.
No, I said I don't know how the fuck this movie was pitched. Like, we've agreed that
It wasn't cancelable. It just didn't make sense.
We agreed that cocaine fueled a lot of
Can
films.
I tell
back in
you
the
how
day.
this movie was pitched? I know exactly how it was pitched. Kevin Costner went in there. He looked the executives dead in the eye and said, "Make the movie. They will come."
Boom. That's exactly what happened.
I am on fire.
Was it something like Side Boob on Meg Ryan and Joe versus Volcano?
No.
No, there's no fucking.
Kumar, this movie, Field of Dreams, is about a guy who.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Doesn't want to be a farmer, but decides to become a farmer, and then walks out into the field one night and hears a voice and decides to build, of course, against all the locals' advice. He plows his field and builds this fucking. It's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. Like, I watched it, heartwarming. It's got everything. It
Yeah.
plucks at all the heartstrings.
Baseball.
But it's like I can't imagine you pitching that film without them reading the script and being like, okay,
And he built a whole baseball diamond for ghosts, or do real people play on it? I can't.
It's for
remember.
ghosts.
It's only for ghosts.
Yeah.
Like Little League doesn't play there.
No.
There's no like hometown baseball team. It's just for ghosts.
Oh, and keep in mind, at one point, while all the ghosts are walking back into the cornfield, one of them says, "Gonna have to hit the shower." And I was like, is that what the afterlife is like? You still have to do the mundane, tedious little things in life? Like, gotta pay my taxes.
Is he the only one who can see the ghosts, or does everyone get to watch the ghosts?
Oh, no, so
play?
this is the beautiful
So
thing.
he built the whole thing just for himself.
His prick ginger brother-in-law really wants to buy the land. He works for a bank. He's really pushing selling the land to save the farm. I want to save your house. Let me buy the land. He can't see the baseball players. Only Kevin Costner, his wife, and his daughter can see the baseball players. Then he goes and gets Terrence Mann.
James Earl Jones.
Jones, played by James Earl Jones. He picks him up, convinces him immediately. He goes from curmudgeon old man not wanting to speak to anyone to I'm going to drive to Iowa with you in like an obscenely quick amount of
And it
time.
sounds like it's Darth Vader.
Yeah. Then they drive to, I believe it's like Minnesota, where they meet another ghost. This is not a joke either. They meet another ghost, and that ghost is a doctor who played one game of baseball. And then
Burt Lancaster.
Yep. And then they leave him and they pick up a hitchhiker who is also a ghost, who is the younger version of said doctor. And then they all drive back to this field to watch them play baseball. And then eventually James Earl Jones walks into the cornfield, which I assume is him dying.
Yeah, dying. Yeah, I don't remember this movie at all.
But also remember Ray Liotta. This was his stud moment. He went downhill because he looked great.
Is he
in this
one of the
movie.
ghosts?
He's Shoeless Joe Jackson, yes.
So sorry, just to recap.
Yeah.
Built the whole field.
Yeah.
Only 3 of them can see the ghosts.
Correct.
Did he build bleachers in this stadium?
Yeah.
Why not just put 3 chairs in?
Oh, because if you build it, he will come.
And
no,
they came.
that's the players.
No, I get it. But then eventually, I mean, I guess he just knew people were going to come. But James Earl Jones does tell him at one point, people will come here for no reason. They won't even know why, but they'll drive to your door and they'll gladly pay you $20
To sit in the bleachers
spoiler.
and watch, nobody.
ghosts play. Well, no, then the idea is that eventually everyone can see the ghosts.
Gotcha. Okay.
Plot
Okay.
spoiler.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 40-year spoiler
You say
alert
the
here.
whole movie.
The fucking Indianapolis Colts. I have a year already, Simon.
Yeah, so I'm very disappointed so far.
Okay, I got a year too.
What year do you have?
1991.
I have 88.
Oh, 1989.
Oh, and I won last
Coming
week.
off the
Don't-
heels.
the
Yeah,
big
yeah.
win, the big
Actually,
win.
we're not supposed to be doing the movie.
I won the movie game and then that bet. There might be some correlation there.
That the greatest
That was
moment of your
my
life
week,
just
yeah.
happened.
I had my best week ever and it blew right
Usually
by
you're
me.
not aware, but you get to behold it.
Okay, so 19, what did you say, Kamar?
It came out in 89.
89. You were very close, Matt. Oh, so was I guess.
For bonus points, guess the month.
I think it was a Christmas movie. So
September.
December.
Came out in May.
Oh, beginning of the baseball season. I was going to say beginning or the end. I went with the end. Foolish.
Okay, so 1989.
How many baseball movies has he made? 5. Bull Durham. Field of Dreams. There was the one where he was like a baseball like scout, wasn't there?
I think that was the Cleveland Browns. It was a football movie.
Oh, that was a football movie. You're
He's-
correct.
He's definitely done enough, though.
He did Tin Cup. That was a fucking golf
It's a
film.
golf movie. He did.
Lots of sports movies, and now he owns a ranch in Montana.
How much?
I'm
What
ready.
did you say it cost to make, Simon?
27 million to make.
How much to make at the box office?
159.
Well, we're pretty close. I said it cost 20 million to make, and it made 120.
Just to do that as well as you guys thought, but you're very close to the budget. Budget 15 million.
I'm in play.
Box office 84.4 million. Still
Just weren't making a lot of
Kevin
money
Costner.
back then.
That is a lot of money. Come on now.
For 89, that's a pretty good return on investment, Simon. Like you 4x your money.
Yeah. No, just you know,
Like Matt said, he didn't win any Oscars.
it doesn't. When he does the synopsis, it sounds like a terrible movie.
I'm telling you, like
It's magical.
you will watch it and you will feel good. It's a feel good film, but it is on paper an absolute dog shit premise of a movie. Terrible.
And this podcast was a dog shit example of a podcast.
Agreed.
No, nothing against Derek, nothing against Joe, but they had nothing to talk about except for the Enhanced Olympics. We'll keep our ears and eyes out for it. I don't think there'll be a great demand for it, but yeah, it was a weird Derek interviewing Joe the whole time. I'd
Yeah.
give it a 1.
I'll give it a 2.
I will give it a 0.5.
Wow. Well, there you have it. That's the week wrapped up. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, that's incredible. Don't forget, it's Desperate December. We are desperate, and it is December. Head over to patreon.com/JREE podcast. If 10 more people join this month, which I expect will happen this week, if 10 more people join this month, Kamar will get both of his ears pierced. We will make that a video for fucking sure. And he will wear dangly earrings.
Where are you going to get your ears pierced? Like a proper spot, or you want one of us to do it?
Oh no!
ice and
want
a
it.
needle.
No, stop it.
I would.
The
I'm
person with the gun or whatever.
Okay, that's it. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. There's a YouTube channel. If you want to watch the show, you can go to youtube.com/JREE podcast. That's it. We hope you enjoy your week. We hope you have a great weekend. And as usual,
I got to go open up a couple of Patreon accounts. Keep your eyes open.